Give me. Okay. Sorry, I was taking care of something real quick. I have no idea what's going on today. I was planning on doing an afternoon one. I'm going to do an afternoon one tomorrow because we're going to cover the necessary conversation episode from. I guess they're going to post it tonight. I was hoping they would post it a little bit earlier, but they did not. And to be honest with you, there's a bunch of news. Well, not really a bunch of news, but there's a bunch of stuff that we can kind of go over and discuss. Hey, what's up, Dragonfly? Let me fix my lighting a little bit. All right, that's a little bit better. All right. Yeah. So let me go ahead and make sure got some stuff pulled up. God, man. Okay. We've got something. We got something going on here. This is new to me.
We're going to step away from the president's remarks. Our producers will continue to listen. If there's any news, we're going to bring it to you because we have some additional breaking
How you doing?
news. The confirmation hearing for President Trump's pick to be Director of National Intelligence, it is now officially canceled. It comes after a tense standoff between the president and Republicans on the Hill, who were going to proceed with that hearing even after Trump said it was canceled. MS Now's Michael Schnell is on the Hill. Michael, what happened here?
Yeah, Alicia, this all started at that 3:54 a.m. Truth Social post from President Trump when he said that the Senate should not move forward with Jay Clayton's nomination to be Director of National Intelligence.
Oh, okay. I haven't read it. How bad is it?
Until his replacement at the Southern District of New York is installed, is confirmed. And that sort of thwarted all of these plans up here on Capitol Hill because, as you mentioned, Jay Clayton, his pick to be DNI, was supposed to appear for a hearing, a confirmation hearing, before the Senate Intelligence Committee this afternoon. Now, in light of that Truth Social post, Tom Cotton, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, said that his panel would continue with the hearing as planned unless there were two things. President Trump directed Jay Clayton not to appear, or if President Trump had yanked Jay Clayton's nomination. Well, just within the last few minutes, Alicia, we got some news on that front that President Trump directed Jay Clayton not to appear for this hearing, prompting Tom Cotton to postpone it. Tom Cotton writing in a post on X that it's unfortunate that the president had told Jay Clayton not to appear. This has some real serious.
I mean, I don't know. To me, this feels like I had an idea for you. A mix for your liberal tears of laughing MAGA. Oh yeah, liberal tears of laughing MAGA dumbasses. That's the thing. I could do. There's a couple edits I want to do right now. I'm working on kind of pulling together some stuff. The table picture? No. What are we talking about? But yeah, I'm working on APAC right now as a video idea. I was plotting it out last night, like how I want it to go, and there's gonna be filming and stuff like that. So I gotta work on that. I've got a busy. I hate to say it, I have a busy week over the next. I would say I have a busy next 4 or 5 days. Tomorrow I am streaming in the afternoon, so I'm gonna put this out early just so everyone kind of is looped in on it. But yeah, I'm gonna be streaming probably around 12:30 or 1, and we're gonna cover the necessary conversation episode from today. I was hoping they might release it early. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. But I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. But no, I haven't seen the picture. The table picture. Is that something I can just Google?
Implications up here on Capitol Hill, because Republicans were trying to fast track Jay Clayton's nomination to be DNI because they wanted to get him installed by tomorrow afternoon. Really, Democrats wanted to try and prevent Bill Pulte, who's right now the head of the Housing Finance Agency, to prevent him from taking acting DNI job come Friday. Democrats and Republicans very concerned that Bill Pulte
is this what you're referring to?
Intelligence experience. Democrats are also worried that he may use that perch in the intelligence community to dig up.
Okay, I did not see this, but let me. So we're talking about this, right? This is fascinating. You could stare at this. This is like a painting. Merkel's not having it, man. Like, just staring deep into his. They're both eye fucking each other at this point. Yeah. Wow. Someone needs to release, like, how bad does he actually smell? I need to hear from an actual, like, leader of a country at this point. I need to know how bad that smell is.
Damaging information about some of President Trump's political opponents and use that to your advantage. You'll remember that Bill Pulte had those mortgage fraud recommendations against some of President Trump's foremost political opponents. So for that reason, they were trying to fast track this nomination. But once again,
this is the stuff that I personally look. He's gonna install anyone he wants to in his cabinet. So, like, pausing a confirmation hearing. The Republicans, they talk a big talk lately, and yes, they've stopped him on a few things, but the reality is that it always just feels like they're going to just eventually vote in his favor. Because honestly, I think it's in their best interest to do it because A, he is a dumbass who will exploit and blackmail people. And so I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of dirt on all the people in Congress. And, you know, I don't know. To me, this is a, like, cool. Is that not an old picture? Don't think Merkel is in office now? That's what I was also wondering. I was like, is that the picture? Because I looked at it and I was all like, why are they staring at each other? And why is Merkel there? You're right. But yeah, I pulled it up and I don't know what table picture we're talking about, though. I don't know which one that. I just Googled it, table, and it was like that was the first thing that came up. I was like, is this it? It is a banana sandwich one. Is Rhea standing so close behind him to catch him if he falls? You know, because all that's going to happen is he's going to squish him like a bug. Oh, God. No, not that one. At the G7, Google world leaders posing at G7 table, not knowing what the hell is going on. You know, I saw something yesterday. Like, I didn't click on it because I'm like, he always looks fucking confused. But I think it was maybe Adam Mockler posted something that was like, oh my God, he's so confused, or some sort of clickbait headline. And I was like, all right, cool.
We're going to stop.
Cool. I mean, he's like, to me, it's always that. He always just looks confused. What else? What other news we got going on today? I'm trying to look for.
Step away from the president's remarks. Are
an SDNY
bump this up, but I'm gonna.
Well, I'm told by a source familiar with the matter that the White House hasn't even sent the information for Clayton's replacement. That SDNY nominee hasn't even sent the paperwork.
Oh, this is from 2018. That photo.
We are nowhere close to getting the ball rolling on that process.
All right, hold on. I'm looking for the...
Michael, I worry sometimes the way we talk about this, it sounds like a game of musical chairs. You very rightfully point out the fact that FISA right now hangs in the balance. What's at stake for American national security, especially as we watch the president on stage at the G7 talking about the Iran agreement that he says he's going to sign, quote, tomorrow or maybe the next day, as the president talks about the ongoing war in Ukraine. What is the danger to the American people?
We have photographs there. And now upstairs. Excellent.
It's like, wait, Mark Hamill is there? I'm like losing my mind today. How did little Rubio get taller than Trump? You know, he's probably wearing lifts at this point. God, he looks fucking tired. That motherfucker needs a nap so bad. All right, that's my lane. This is the stuff I need. I need to see him just actively just sitting there, just looking bad. I don't need the talking heads being like, it looks like he's dying. Like,
of not having a director
old as
of
fuck. That's what he
national
looks like.
intelligence in place.
Yeah, it's taking a key figure in the administration, somebody who oversees about 18 national security and intelligence agencies, and taking them out of place. But for Democrats, they see it as more.
All right, I'm going to go pop over to the Mehdi Hassan debate that I started last week.
Are two of the sources people who places.
Right.
Prove to me that you actually care about Middle East peace. Prove to me that you have control over Netanyahu and American weapons, and get him to pull out. Because right now, Greater Israel is happening in front of our eyes. Netanyahu's doing the project that far-right Israelis have always wanted. He's taking Lebanon, southern
You're
Lebanon.
saying Egypt,
He's taking
Turkey,
Gaza.
all this stuff.
Who knows what's coming?
What you're thinking?
Well, if you embolden the guy, what is the lesson of the last 3 years? There's impunity. You can do whatever the F you want, and America will never stop you.
Okay, do me a favor. Differentiate between what Bibi's vision is and what Israel's vision is.
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so for instance, you could have there's a difference between what America's vision is.
I was like, wait, I just got a notification that there was a new necessary conversation. I was like, no, there's not.
Yes.
Be the greatest country in the world versus what AOC's vision would be if she became president versus Trump, right? So what do you think is Bibi's vision versus Israel's vision?
That's a great question. And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad tidings. We do this thing in the US, especially on the liberal side, where we say, look, we're against the Netanyahu government. We're not against Israel or the Israeli people. The problem is the Israeli people have made it very clear over the last 3 years that they're totally behind all these wars.
So yeah, I agree with Mehdi here to an extent. I think there is a lot of brainwashing, just like how I view MAGA in this country. There's a lot of brainwashing happening, and a lot of people are just kind of following exactly what the news is telling them is true instead of pushing back. Now, God, I should pull that video I saw yesterday of the Israeli. You know what? I'm gonna find it. And we'll watch it together because it's actually pretty good. It's really good. But yeah, I'm going to let him cook for...
There's been no real anti-war movement. In Israel, there's no real...
There's a little bit. It's not a big number.
It's tiny. It's tiny. You look at the polling, 80% of Israelis support...
20% is what I was going to say.
Every military operation blindly. You look at the polling, some of it's horrific. Like 80% of Israelis support removing Palestinians from Israel. From Gaza, and another small majority support ethnically cleansing them from Israel itself, Palestinian citizens of Israel. Israeli society...
What percentage was this one?
So I think it's 80% say they're fine with getting them out of Gaza, like forcibly.
Right.
And there's another majority or big plurality of Israelis Israeli Jews who say even Palestinians in Israel should ultimately emigrate.
The West Bank and some of that.
No, Israel proper, within the Green Line.
Got it. Okay.
1/5 of the population of Israel is Palestinian citizens of Israel. So the polling is horrific. There was a poll done last year by Penn State, I think it was, where almost half of Israelis said that when we capture a town in Gaza, we should treat it like the Bible and Jericho. We should kill all the inhabitants, all the men. Like this kind of crazy. So, okay, all these polls, you take them with a pinch of salt. I get it. But anyone you speak to in Israel who's a serious commentator on Israeli politics will tell you that over the last 5-10 years, Israeli society has moved to the right, to the far right, in a way that American society has not. Donald Trump is polling in the 30s right now. Even at his peak, he got 49.8% of the vote in the last election. He's never had a majority. In Israel, the right-wing parties, the far-right parties are dominant right now. Maybe in the 90s, early 90s, there was a peace camp. There was Oslo, all this.
So yeah, here, this is Noah Samson did a video. It came.
Israel is currently having a bit of a PR crisis.
And I actually dig Noah Samson. He is a very thoughtful and informative individual. And by the way, he's also someone who's being sued hardcore by Ethan Klein. If anyone knows what's going on with Ethan Klein thing, it looks like he dropped the lawsuit against iDubbbz. So that's a good thing. iDubbbz had to release a apology, but you know, he's in Canada. The defamation laws are lighter. So yeah, I get why he did it. Also, I think he felt bad because he left the actual thing that Destiny set up on his stream for 40 minutes. I get it. That's wild, but Ian didn't say it. Destiny said it. That's where I'm at.
Across the world, public opinion of the country is at its lowest point in history. What's driving this crisis? Well, one might argue that it's an inevitable consequence of killing tens of thousands of children, destroying the lives of 2 million people in a campaign of genocide that you posted on TikTok for the world to see, celebrating it, making fun of it. Others, though, defenders of Israel mainly, would argue that, well, it's because you're always on that damn phone. People, young people especially, are being brainwashed with fake videos of suffering and lies and misinformation about the only Jewish state in the world that may or may not be committing a Holocaust. That's not relevant to this point. So, in an effort to combat this content, Israel started investing in the social media fight, paying influencers upwards of $7,000 per post to promote the country, to deny its deliberate starvation campaign in Gaza.
Yeah, and people say like Israel is not complicit in anything that's going on. You know, they're just trying to fight wars because people have been attacking them, and this is bullshit. They've been fighting on a completely different front. And there's a lot of money that is flowing in and out of Israel. And it looks like they're actively trying to basically turn people into Zionists at this point.
And lie to allow Israel to keep killing children.
The United Nations brings the food here to look like they're actually doing something productive, but they never finish the job, just like your ex.
We're going to have to use the tools of battle. The weapons change over time, and the most important ones are the social media.
Unfortunately,
damn it, man. There's some wild stuff in this. I do want to like prepare people. There is some imprisonment of people who are trying to bring aid to Gazans, and some crazy stuff, like awful stuff happened to them.
Fortunately for them, that didn't seem to help. They recently announced a $730 million investment into online public diplomacy for the year of 2026 alone. And I'm sure this will work, definitely. Just $1 more billion. Keep throwing money at it. Everyone will forget what you did. But until all that money is spent, how is Israel going to defend itself? Enter Mia Talias. Mia is an Israeli social media influencer.
This individual is awful.
Influencer with 140,000 followers on Instagram and almost 200,000 YouTube subscribers. Her videos frequently reach hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of views, and she's on the leading edge of a new form of online pro-Israel content. By harnessing the power of trendy TikTok sounds, Sigma music, sarcasm, and bangs, she's out to save Israel from the world's ire in a manner that's a little more palatable for a younger Western audience than the usual stuff coming out of Israel, which, to be quite honest, doesn't seem to have helped very much at all. Mia styles herself as a truth teller. Her bio reads, "I hate liars, so I make videos about the truth."
No. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
That's how she's described herself in public appearances.
I always hated.
By the way, I watched this while I was doing something else, so there are certain things that I've missed. So you're going to see me react to some stuff that I probably was not consciously taking in.
Liars since I was a little girl. I just couldn't handle it. I've always been like this disgustingly honest person.
And is this the case? Well, let's find out. First up is an Instagram reel from Mia concerning the treatment of a group of pro-Palestine flotilla activists.
You know the Palestine flotilla bullshit with the fake activists that illegally sailed to Israel to deliver aid they didn't have on their boats to the morbidly obese Gazans? This is the warm welcome they got in Spain.
I'm sorry. if you care about people and you aren't some sort of sociopath, you would not be looking at this footage and being like, yeah, this is great. This is what they get. This is what they deserve. It's fucked. Like, this is all fucked. Especially when it's broken down what actually is happening here.
Or even wearing the cute little outfit we gave them. God, I hope they're warm in this difficult time.
Okay, gotta pause it here. Lots of claims were made in a short amount of time. So according to Mia, the flotillas were bringing fake aid to morbidly obese Gazans, and what they were doing was illegal. Is this true? Well, no. The flotillas were carrying aid. Here are a bunch of images of that aid. This most recent wave from April sent 58 boats. And what's this about Mia saying morbidly obese Gazans?
Morbidly obese Gazans?
Well, there was a narrative on Israeli social media sparked by photos of Palestinians in Gaza who were not visually underweight as a way to deny the existence of a famine in Gaza.
על כך שישראל מרעיבה את העזתים. חייב להגיד לך, מהתמונות שאני רואה, אני חושב שצריכים קצת לרדת במשקל, אבל...
אפשר לקרוא לזה הרעבה סלקטיבית, כמו הזעזוע הסלקטיבי של השמאל, כי בתמונות רואים ילדים מאוד מאוד רזים, ממש מזי רעב, וההורים שלהם שמנים ובריאים, לפעמים אפילו אולי סובלים מהשמנת יתר. זה באמת תופעה, אני חושב שהיא...
יש לנו את התמונה של האימא של הילדה שטענו שמתה מרעב, אסף, אולי נשים אותה? היא כבר מתה? אתם חייבים לראות את האימא.
בוא נאמר ככה, כשרואים את האימא, די ברור למה הילדה מתה מרעב.
בואו נראה, יש לנו את זה? תעלו את זה טיפה למעלה, יופי, תורידו. זו לא אישה מורעבת.
לא, זו אישה שאולי אכלה את כל האוכל של הילדה שלה, זה... לא יודע, לא יכול לחשוב על אפשרות אחרת.
אישה שאכלה שלם.
But there was a famine in Gaza. Just months before the flotilla set sail, the IPC, the highest governing body tasked with determining famine levels, declared a famine in Gaza. Hundreds of people starved to death. Hundreds of thousands more were and remain without adequate food. And all the infrastructure for internal food production, like farms and fisheries, has been destroyed by Israel. So that's the population that this aid was being sent to, because Israel continues to block trucks of humanitarian aid at the border that surrounds Gaza, that they control everything that goes in and out, kind of like a concentration camp.
At the end of the day, don't illegally sail to my country and you're good. If you do, you deserve whatever the fuck you're gonna get. Unfortunately, we are too gentle with these people, but the Spanish police did what we didn't get to.
To the last
Whoa. God. Jesus fucking Christ.
claim that the flotillas broke the law or that they were illegal.
Fat people can starve too? I mean, look. Under any contact, anyone of any size can starve.
Mia didn't name any of the laws that they broke, but I know one party that did break the law, Israel. When it attacked these boats, disabled them, and abducted and imprisoned the activists, that happened in international waters outside of Greece. That's illegal, and that's why people were calling it kidnapping, because it was.
Yeah, it is legitimately kidnapping.
You know how the whole world lost their shit when they saw the video Ben Gvir released of one of our officers tackling one of these fake activists to the floor when she yelled free.
Fake activists. See, this is the shit that they actively use in their speech and their language. It's like it's made up fucking bullshit. When the reality is that these people were actual activists and they were there to actually try and bring aid. Now, I get concerned that, like, coming in on a boat, just like trying to sneak in, you're gonna get fucked up by Israel or anyone who is working for Israel. So to me, that sounds terrifying. I couldn't do it. I would be scared.
Palace.
But I'm also constantly scared anyway of just, I guess, being vocal anyway. So this is an extreme for me.
Everyone was mortified because we had them lay on the floor and listen to our beautiful anthem. Looking at the videos from Spain.
That's fucked. That is so fucked up. That is so fucked up.
I bet they missed that.
And the last thing she says there, looking at the videos from Spain, I bet they missed that. What is she referring to? Well, she's referring to the activists' time imprisoned in Israel, where they were tortured and raped.
Punched and kicked in the face, in the ribs, in the body. I have a fractured cheekbone and a fractured rib and a pulmonary contusion in my lung, concussion. Overwhelmingly, the worst feeling is to be in a stress position or in a position where you have no power, you're trapped, and to hear people
It would help to sneak if you weren't posting every day what you were doing. You know, that is also true. I'm very curious to see what their social media like situation is, because there is an aspect of this where you could, I mean, looking at it from a couple different angles, you could poke a hole and be like, yeah, you were trying to get caught, so you could make a big deal out of this, which is, I believe, something she does say here. Not a fan of anyone, even if they were trying to be seen or trying to make a spectacle of something. But I don't know. Like me, like no one should be imprisoned that way or picked up in the middle of the ocean and raped and tortured. That sounds terrible.
That you love being tortured and being raped around you in the same space and have no power to do anything about it.
I was dragged into a darkened container ship on a prison boat. I was sexually assaulted. I was beaten. And that was just the beginning of 4 days of absolute hell.
Physically beaten and abused on camera in front of the world.
And I bet they missed that.
Sometimes by high-ranking government officials.
Israeli Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir released footage on X Wednesday of him taunting detained activists from a Gaza-bound flotilla.
Welcome to Israel. We are the landlords. The people of Israel live. They came as big heroes. Look at them now. Not heroes, not anything.
The videos sparked widespread international condemnation.
Mia did actually have an issue with that, though, but for reasons other than what you might expect.
I'm wondering what the reason is.
Do I think Ben-Gvir posting that was a smart idea? Absolutely not.
Okay. That is a statement that no, she's gonna say something insane. Okay.
Do I think that he thought about anybody but himself posting that? Absolutely not. It was bad PR for Israel.
That's all she's worried about. She don't care that these people got beat, tortured. She's just worried about the actual fact that this is just a bad look for it's a bad look for Israel. All right, ma'am. I'm fixing something real quick here. Had an issue. Okay. All right.
And it gave them exactly what they wanted coming here. A PR stunt. But then again, we're damned if we do and damned if we don't.
So Mia's problem with Ben-Gvir isn't that he abused.
Well, okay. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So essentially, you are not okay with a group of people delivering aid. Okay. So if you let them through, what happened at that point? That's my question. What happens at that point? Because nothing that harms Israel. I mean, it just does not make any sense to me to be that callous and that insanely just fucking out of touch, saying, oh yeah, if we let them through, that's a stain on us. No, it's not. They're delivering aid. If you just let the people of Gaza just live and not be the focal point of all your hate, honestly, probably be in a better situation. We'd have a little bit more respect, I guess, for Israel as a country, but I don't know. They make it really hard. I'm not saying that they deserve what she got. I'm saying they might have gotten the food in if they hadn't posted. That's true. That's true. I agree with that. I would probably have kept that under wraps if you're trying to do it not for the karma. Yeah, but I don't know if they were posting a bunch or not.
abused these hostages. It's that he abused them in front of the cameras. Doesn't seem to have an issue with what's happening here. I mean, she kind of likes it seems like, based on how she talks about it.
We are too gentle with these people.
She just doesn't want the world to see, because she knows how bad it looks. It's making her job a lot harder.
The annoying thing is, the entire world lost their shit about what Ben Gvir did. But let me guarantee you right now, ain't nobody about to give a fuck about this. Because if they can't do a spin on Israel, nobody can.
Yeah, bad luck for Israel when a bomb blows up in Tel Aviv. So Israel shells a wedding from an offshore warship. Look. I read a little bit, Crivens, about that whole situation, and look, the retaliatory stuff that happens in Israel is so wild. Oh my God, I think I just got paused here. What is going on? Why am I all right, we'll have to fix that. But it's wild to me that, but this all kind of goes back to me in my head to October 7th. And the situation that happened there was awful. Like no innocent person who has control over the government, who doesn't have control of or is in the Israeli government. Oh yeah, it's incredibly disproportionate. And so, like, I look at October 7th and I'm like, that was in my head, I think about all the stuff that kind of led up to October 7th. And, it's the thing I talked about a while back on the stream. But, hey, what's up, D Mooney? I'm going to fix my camera, by the way. It's the thing I talked about on stream. People look at Hamas and they go, they're terrorists. I can look at them and go, they're a response to the thing that is happening in Gaza, and to the people of Gaza. I think someone said it really well. It's like, whoever becomes victorious in these battles gets to write the history books. And if Israel dominates and completely takes over Gaza, Hamas will be called the terrorist group for all of history at this point. I mean, look at what agreed on the Gaza take. Yeah, to me, like, October 7th is a symptom of the actual problem that is happening. And that's my complete takeaway, like, from everything. It's like, I am very sorry that happened. As a Jewish person, when you hear that, when you hear innocent people were killed, and people of my, people who are considered to be my brethren in a way. I'm not really Jewish in practice. I was just born Jewish. But it's sad, and you go, okay, that's awful. But then you kind of look at everything that led up to that, and you're like, okay, I understand what happened here. And Israel is so hawkish on just everything. They want to cause chaos. Look at what they're doing in Lebanon, or what they did to Lebanon. The way they've dealt with the Iran stuff. It is just aggressive by actual terrorists. Ergun, Leahy, the Stern Gang. Now they are the official government policymakers. Of course, they're hawkish. Yeah, no, and that totally makes sense. For me, I don't. I mean, look, I'll be very honest with you. This individual that we're watching right now is exactly the person that I view when I think about the Israeli government. This just mean, just very, just laser-like focused on, like, fuck everyone who is who's anti-Zionist. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. What are we doing? All right, I'm gonna run this. I gotta fix my camera real quick. So just give me a second. By the way, this is the part I paid quite a bit of attention to because it caught me so off guard.
A lot of people protested Israel's abuse of these activists, but when Spain did the same thing in these videos, they fell silent. We only care when it's Israel doing stuff, but that's not true. After the footage of these activists being beaten by Spanish police was posted, thousands of people protested. It was widely reported on and heavily criticized by several prominent media outlets and many activists. This is a common tactic. It's an easy tactic and you gotta watch out for it. Manufacture a double standard. Just say nobody covered it and nobody cares, because then you don't have to show anything and people will believe you. So this clip goes on for another minute or so, but I think you get the gist by now. Mia is fired up and excited at the sight of people in handcuffs being brutalized, and honestly, who can blame her? They broke Israeli laws, which require that Palestinians in Gaza are denied food. That's illegal. They're criminals. All right, let's look at another video here. This one is Talia's reaction to another...
Yeah, okay. I mean, look at what Iran is doing. They're just hitting military, even though their hospitals, schools, churches are getting hit. Makes them look better. It does. And I think that's the stuff that when I just kind of break everything down, you know, for me, you just can't look at it any other way other than, oh, there we go. I'm back. Israel, anyone who is attacking Iran are the bad guys at this point. And now, you know, this peace deal that they're trying to push through, which I'm concerned that, Bibi is just going to actively try and fuck up. It's worse than what Obama had in place. And it feels so fucking unnecessary what has gone on in Iran. It just feels so fucking beyond. It just feels like it was a group of rich elites going, hey, how can we fucking make a ton of money in a short period of time? Well, let's do essentially insider trading. Yeah, let's fuck with oil. Let's just do it. And they did it. Fuck. And it's so annoying to see that the people who did this actively did it. Oh, never mind. Okay, here we go. Actively did it to line their pocket, which, to be very honest with you, I feel like all war is like that at this point. He will fuck it up. Is already telling his people he won't let this happen. Yeah. I didn't even need to hear that. I didn't even need to read it. I knew that was going to be the case because he's actively just gummed up the works every single time they've tried to broker a peace deal. And this is what we get. I mean, honestly, you know, it's what I keep harping on. It's this active, like, corruption in our government and in the governments around the world. You know, our issue is we take, you know, our representatives take a shit ton of money from lobbyists, which then influence the government. Yeah, the military congressional industrial complex. That's what it should be called. I mean, it essentially is that. It's just, I'm so fucking over it. Like, I've been saying there has to be a massive, massive change. And I'm concerned it's going to be the same old in 4 years, even if a Democrat is in office. You know, everyone is excited because it seems like Newsom is actively hinting that he is going to run now, which is bizarre. Really? Eisenhower was asked to take the word congressional out of the phrase? Really? See, I thought you were coming up with something clever. That's fucked. Yeah. Why we fight homes? Yeah. Look, I'm just gonna say this. Also, the shit that's going on with Gavin Newsom, he's taking he's taking lemons right now and making lemonade out of it. I believe the feds the IRS are digging through him and his wife's money at this point, trying to get dirt on him. And he was like, "Yeah, it's because Trump thinks I'm gonna run for president." Please don't. Please. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life right now.
Influencer Mia Khalifa speaking about Israel's April 8th attacks in Lebanon. During these attacks, Israel fired over
Okay, this is gonna be goofy, but who saw that coming? Mia Khalifa being so politically motivated. It was never on a bingo card, and for I think the last 8 years, she's been or not even 8 years. She's for I would say the last 4 or 5 years has been really politically minded, which is great. But it was never on my bingo card.
100 airstrikes across Lebanon in just 10 minutes, killing at least 357 people in Israel's most intense bombing of Lebanon in over 50 years. And yes, Israel has been bombing Lebanon on and off for over 50 years, but I digress.
Today has been one of the hardest things to watch in a really long time on social media, and that's saying something because we've watched a genocide play out before our eyes for decades, but even more so in the last 3-4 years.
Fuck. Israel must be really unsuccessful at genocide, innit? How are you guys going to acknowledge that we are one of the strongest militaries in the world while simultaneously thinking we're so shit at the objective that you think that we have? If we wanted to commit genocide / wipe Gaza out / wipe all the Palestinians off the face of the planet, we would have done it in one afternoon. Do you seriously think our objective?
Yesterday when I was sorting cards, that bomb sound effect made me jump so high. It's caught so fucking off guard. In the back of my head, this is a thought that always pops up. And I go, why is it that Israel has not just done the thing that they are actively trying to do? And the only thing I think of is just that they use Gazans as a boogeyman. And it feels like they've been using them as a boogeyman for a very, very long time. It is a rallying cry to have them be the bad guy and be so close to them. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. It's very 1984-ish, I guess, the thought, but I don't know. I just can't make sense of it because it does feel like there is an aspect of this that they do enjoy this ongoing torture. I don't know. I digress.
Is wiping off all the civilians, and we're that bad at it?
So before even getting to Lebanon, Talia starts out by denying that a genocide is taking place in Gaza. Her chosen method for this genocide denial is to strawman the definition of genocide so that Israel can be absolved. But the actual legal definition of genocide does not require a population to be completely wiped out. Reading from the legal definition, any of the following acts which committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group. As such.
Oh yeah, I guess that is it too. Is that? I mean, but you know what? Look, Israel actively flaunts their power in front of the Geneva Convention all the fucking time. They're just I don't fucking care. We're just gonna do what we're gonna keep doing. They don't seem to do anything other than just condemn him. Can they shadow ban comments? What do you mean? Mia Khalifa, the right strategy is to bleed our country dry. They endeavor to pick off the most intelligent and creative individuals in our society, the ones who give credibility to the left. Yeah, I mean, honestly, look, I'm someone who thinks that I think if you have a good heart, you're kind, and your beliefs are in the right place. I don't care what you do. You could be, fuck, I don't even know. You can be anything as long as you're not hurting people. I'm like whatever. You do you. You be you. So when I see people being like, "Wow, she's just a porn star. Get her out of here. She didn't know anything." I'm like, actually very, very intelligent, very smart, in my opinion. Can they shadow ban comments? So I think, okay, I'll be very honest with you. They could shadow ban comments. I think in the chats, if it's like something that may be incendiary, they might do it. I'm watching on my TV and it didn't show up on the comments on there, but it shows up that I wrote it on my phone. Reword it and send it in. Maybe take out anything that might be caught in a. Wait, the Free Congress Heritage Foundation did, which I assumed that's what you were saying was like, hey, this is what the right is saying, because in my opinion, people like her only get a bad rap because of their reputation as a sex worker. And in my mind, literally out of the horse's mouth. Right. And okay, so we have a thing going on right now with the government right now actually basically making a list of essentially people who oppose what is happening currently in the government, and they're going after people like Hassan Piker. God, who else is on that list? Cenk, I know Cenk is on there. There's a bunch of high level celebrities on the left that are literally on this list of basically agitators. And I think they released it, right? They released it publicly. Let me grab it. We can go dig through it. That's the stuff that when I read it, I'm like, okay, this is going down a rabbit hole. Like, you know, we had the McCarthy hearings, and like this is what it feels like. It feels like we're there again. We've got another essentially like communist sort of like scare. It's one of the things they liked most about the Orban in Hungary. Yeah. I mean, it feels like that is, I mean, they're taking from the playbook, you know? Asked about Iran deal, how they're having them get the surrounding areas to pay $300 billion, which are they trying to get the area like around Iran to pay for the $300 billion? Because I thought maybe we were going to have to lift sanctions, or not lift sanctions, but we were going to have to do some sort of repayment. But I didn't know they were forcing the people around them to pay the $300 billion. I have to look at the deal. I have not looked at it. I'm going to be very honest with you. When I heard there was another peace deal, I went, okay. And then I heard, oh, it was leaked by Iran. I was like, okay, that's funny. But at the same time, I just didn't believe it. I just did not believe that there was anything relevant in any of those things that was actually going to happen. And I was like, okay, the war is just going to start back up because you've got Netanyahu in place. That's ignorant. That's ignorant of me. But at the same time, I am so jaded when it comes to hearing about peace deals from Trump that I just go, oh, another one. Oh, another one. It's so much. But hold on, I'm gonna look this up.
Such in whole or in part. That's the thing people who defend Israel seem to just selectively not read, because setting the bar for genocide at 100% of the population killed would exclude every major genocide throughout history. Mia is likely aware that almost all the relevant experts on this issue have declared what Israel is doing to be a genocide, so in order to still defend it, she has to lie, which she...
Okay, well, this is how they were wording it. Now I'm assuming we are funding it through them though. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's a promise of $300 billion, but the details haven't been ironed out. The idea of regional countries paying all or part of it is up in the air. I can imagine most of those people around in the area were like, "Oh, the fuck we are, huh?"
She hates to do, apparently.
I always hated liars since I was a little girl.
The odd thing here is that Khalifa's video isn't even about Gaza. It's about Lebanon. But something about hearing that word genocide really set Talius off. So let's let her continue. It's only been 5 seconds. Let's see what she has to say about Lebanon.
160 airstrikes in 10 minutes on
Hezbollah targets.
Residential buildings, on schools.
And that's the shit that this is the propaganda that they pump out, being like, no, we are going after our enemies. And it's like, no, they're harming civilians. Like that is actually so against the Geneva Convention that it is just, it's flaunting how much they don't give a shit about anything. Oh man, not Noah Samson. Colin, you don't like Noah Samson? I enjoy him, but I enjoy him on a he talks about certain things that I find interesting, and he gives it to me in a pretty straightforward way. Noah Samson's like right-wing grifter except lefty. I actually think I wouldn't call him grifty. I think a lot of the media personalities that get a lot of who post daily are the grifty ones. He seems to post. Oh, I mean, yeah, the lawsuit from Ethan Klein. Yeah, it was going to be, or I think it's still very expensive. I think Ethan is still going after him, right? Well, I'm just going to say this. I did not know about that piece. Yeah, but here's the thing, Colin. Ethan Klein, no one should be apologizing to Ethan Klein, in my personal opinion. He shouldn't be suing anyone for reacting to his content. It seems very childish, and it's part of the reason why first of all, I don't watch. I used to be an H3H3 guy, and I just look at Ethan now and I'm like, bro, I can't. Ethan Klein to me is one of those people who will spin things to make people look bad. Not here to defend. Oh yeah, to me, like anything that was going on with that, if it was me and I was in Noah's situation, I wouldn't back down. I'd just be like, no, fuck you, dude. I'm gonna take you to court and I'm gonna make sure you get enough lawsuits, like essentially either drop or in the defendant's favor that you cannot sue anymore. I would be one of the reasons that would happen. That would be my take. And so I don't know exactly what was going on with Noah. I'll research it. I thought this video was actually pretty informative, talking about some of these influencers, and he focused on one in particular who is a influencer for Israel. But yeah. But the iDubbbz thing yesterday, actually a couple of days ago, I watched it, and I fall into the category of Hassan Piker, where it's like I understand why he's apologizing and he's doing it for himself, not necessarily for the lawsuit, because the reality is like if this was happening in the United States, that lawsuit, that defamation lawsuit would be dropped. Yeah, no, it was still like, I fucking hate you for what you're doing, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Yeah, I watched it and I was like, he's doing it for himself because, yeah, there's children involved. The reality is this. And look, reality is this. If Ian decided to, go through with it, and it was in the United States, Ian would have won. Because the laws, and it's even been talked about a little bit behind the scenes, but I think the laws in Canada, and I think in particular Vancouver, where he currently lives with his wife, are lax when it comes to defamation. And so, essentially, he kind of looked at it as like, okay, this is going to be killing two birds with blame Canada. I'm not going to blame Canada. I mean, look, I get why you did it. First of all, like I would feel a particular way if I had the thing that Destiny said up on screen for 40 minutes. Yeah, I'd feel pretty bad. I'd feel pretty shitty because their kids don't need to be mixed in this. That is the thing that I agree with Ian on. The stuff though with Ethan, where he picks and chooses who he goes after based on his connections to people, like Dan, I believe it's Dan Saltman. Ethan is got a direct connection to Destiny through him. And I believe before everything that happened with the hidden Reddit account that he was, he had the insane name. What is it? Like was it the PDF hunter, right? I don't want to say the full thing, but that's when like everything started to drop. That's when Destiny was like, I'm backing away from Ethan Klein. But there's still a connection through Dan Salt. And allegedly, I'm put allegedly in there. I don't, I'm worried that just saying anything like that would just get me in some trouble. I don't know why. I'm a very nervous individual. But the reality is this: Ethan Klein, in my personal opinion, funny guy. I thought he was great. I liked the Leftovers podcast they did. October 7th really fucked him like up, and he had a hard time recognizing actually what is going on and what happened. And there's part of me that feels really, really bad for him. Like, I feel bad for him. I have empathy for him. I also think the way he's acted over the last couple of years, he is exactly what he fought against with Matt Hoffman. I believe it was Matt Hoffman, right? He's exactly that. He's exactly the exact opposite of who he was back then. That is my issue with him. He fought for React content, and now he's suing for people for reacting to content because he didn't like what they said about him. And I believe Denham's is essentially won her lawsuit, and the judge cited the actual case that he brought into law as the reason why, which is great. Like, that's kind of a nice slam dunk on him.
On hospitals, on civilian infrastructure.
She's not going to mention that. Also, schools and hospitals, where? Evidence? No?
Pause the tape real quick. Hey Mia, Israel's attacks in Lebanon have made the country the deadliest place in the world to be a healthcare worker or patient. They've targeted hospitals and ambulances hundreds of times in the last 2.5 years. And nearly half of every one of these attacks has resulted in one or more people being killed, compared to a 13% average for all other conflicts in
I don't know if I got that far. I think Ethan got fuck you money and decided to actually say fuck you to people who piss him off. I think the Denham's case will be very interesting. Ruling still not. I know it's not completely like done, but there was some sort of judgment, I believe. I think he's going to try to. I swear, Hassan was talking about it. It was very. We can pull it up too.
in the same time period. Since March of this year alone, Israel has killed over 130 medical workers and targeted over 160 ambulances and healthcare facilities. This is Lebanon's Tebneen Government Hospital, one of the region's busiest trauma centers. During the April 8th attacks, Israel bombed it twice, wounding 11 medical workers, damaging the emergency department and pharmacy, and ruining critical equipment like ventilators and monitors. For a more recent example of Israel's destruction of Lebanese healthcare facilities, here's some footage from June 3rd, so like 10 days ago, at Jabal Emal Hospital in southern Lebanon, which killed 4 people and wounded 127 others, most of them healthcare workers. Talias claims that the Israeli airstrikes on Lebanon were all on Hezbollah targets. What is her source for that claim? Well, the IDF. Video footage posted by the IDF's official Twitter account. If we consult other marginally less biased sources than the IDF's official account, we can see that what happened on April 8th was mass...
I'm going to pull up this thing. You know where Israel high-ranking military headquarters are? No, I don't.
It's official. It's happening. I am getting sued by Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein, millionaire and host of the H3 podcast, has sued me for defamation.
Under hospitals and schools?
It's 31 pages.
That makes sense, you know. Use use civilians, you know. Use civilians to cover yourself. You know, they're just collateral damage at that point, right? Like, yeah, whatever.
And I'm getting sued. About a year ago, I released this video, the YouTubers who backed the genocide. And in response, Ethan Klein immediately began threatening to sue me. Then, a year later, just 2 days before the statute of limitations was up, Klein filed his lawsuit. In the complaint, Klein alleges that I defamed him by falsely painting him as a supporter of the genocide of Palestinians. The complaint presents 6 allegedly defamatory statements, including the title and thumbnail of my video, and it makes several claims related to statements made about Israel, Palestine, atrocity propaganda, Nakba denialism, misinformation, and more. There's a lot of stuff in this thing. It's 31 pages. For now, all I can say about the lawsuit itself is that I think Ethan's claims are meritless and I intend to defend against them. But to do this, I need your help. A full-length defamation trial can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't have that. So I started a GoFundMe. It's linked in the description in the pinned comment. You can also find it by searching Klein v. Samson on the internet. I set the goal at $200,000, but any funds we raise above this goal will be donated immediately to Palestinian aid, and any money that goes unused or is recuperated once legal proceedings conclude will also be donated. Last year, around the time of Ethan's initial lawsuit threats, we did a fundraiser for UNRWA, an organization that provides aid to Palestinian refugees, and we raised over $500,000, so it would be cool if we could do something like that again. I'll be hosting a fundraising live stream this Friday, May 22nd, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's a marathon stream, so it will go for 4 days straight, maybe longer. We'll have lots of guests calling in to hang out, play games, or do tier lists or whatever else. So far, we've got FD Signifier, Boy, Big Joel, Denims, iDubbbz, Frogan, Elliot Sang, Chris Kunzler, Overzealot, Spooky Scary Socialist, Ahmed Sarsour, Colormind, Oli Sunvia, Cavernacle, and more. We'll have lots of fun donation goals. You may get to see me chug a gallon of milk, take a pie to the face, wax my legs, cosplay your favorite influencer, do the hot chip challenge, run a marathon, and more. We'll have the wheel going as well, like we did during the last fundraiser. And for the grand finale, if we hit $500,000, I will ride a bike 120 miles from San Diego to Hassan Piker's house to beg him for more money. Klein v. Samson, GoFundMe, link in bio. Donate to help defend free speech on YouTube, and send money to Palestinian aid as well while we do it. Thanks for watching. See you on Friday.
Hey, what's up, Hollow? How are you doing? So, okay, I'm trying to figure out. So, I think, okay, I think if it was me, and I had the, you know, the poll that I have, or that Noah has, I would probably do the same thing. I also probably wouldn't back down from a bully like Ethan Klein. So I don't see. Here's the problem. Here's the big issue. When you let someone like Ethan Klein win, what are you doing, mister? Oh, we're watching content, watching political content. When you let someone like Ethan Klein win, who is litigious at this point, to me, it's fucked up. And it's fucked up that he is being this much of a baby. And I would push for, you know, topic. Well, I'm in the middle of discussing Noah Samson and Ethan Klein's. I guess Ethan Klein is suing Noah Samson, and he's doing a fundraiser for about $200,000, and anything else that is above $200,000 is going to, I believe, help in Gaza. And I need to see what Ethan's response was, because apparently he said if Noah apologizes, he'll drop the lawsuit. And my thing is, like, if it was me, I would feel extraordinarily pissed. Because someone actively bullying people for responding or even reacting to his content just because he doesn't like the way they reacted, that's silly. And because he's got fuck you, like we were saying earlier, he's got fuck you money. Yeah, that doesn't mean that's okay. That doesn't mean it's okay. I don't particularly care for Caseytronics, how that situation went down. My brain is still loading. The thing is, I agree with everything you say. Well, that depends. Depends on what. Thanks for the bit, by the way. So yeah. I don't know. What topic are we going over? Right now, it was just brought to my attention, like Noah Samsen's being sued by Ethan Klein, and I'm not sued. I'm tired. I got you. He's getting sued by Ethan Klein. I think like literally a month ago, 4 weeks ago, he started a fundraiser to get funds to basically proceed with the lawsuit, hire a lawyer, all that stuff. And Ethan Klein has come back and said, if you apologize to me, a heartfelt apology, I need to find that statement from Ethan Klein because I've not seen it yet. He'll drop the lawsuit. I would be kind of like, so what? I have to bend over and kiss your feet type sort of thing. Okay. Well, why the fuck are you throwing out like these unnecessary lawsuits? This is fucked up. And I would feel very motivated to push back. That would be me, because I don't like bullies, and I don't think people should be bullying people because they have more money than someone else does. That's my stand. And I get it, like, oh yeah, if you apologize, all that money you made can just go straight to Gaza, and that would be great. That would be great. Ethan Klein should just drop the lawsuit. That's my stance. Ethan Klein should just drop the fucking lawsuit because it's a bullshit lawsuit and it's a waste of time and a waste of money for everybody. Oh wait, Trump? You know what? Just don't order around like a fake leader of the army or whatever bizarre thing they think about. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I would feel very I would just feel like I would have to do this. Like this is not right. Not right. All right, I'm gonna go back to the video we were watching, which was pro-Israel propaganda, but make it trendy.
Civilian murder. It was the indiscriminate bombing of civilian targets all over Lebanon.
The death toll from Israel's massive attack Wednesday has topped 300. More than 1,150 people were injured. In a span of 10 minutes Wednesday, Israel struck 100 sites across Beirut, the Bekaa Valley, and southern Lebanon. The Financial Times described Israel's attack on Lebanon as, quote, one of the deadliest single bombing campaigns in the history of a country racked by decades of war and destruction.
Chicago-based humanitarian nonprofit Med Global described the attacks as open war crimes which targeted civilian areas with no warning. Israel bombed a single neighborhood 5 times, killing over 80 people, including 15 children. Even the BBC, famously pro-Israel BBC, had to point out that Israel provided no evidence that any of this wasn't just killing civilians. The United Nations unequivocally condemned the attacks as indiscriminate, accusing Israel of having the utmost contempt for the international legal order, diplomacy, and above all for the lives of civilians and the environment in Lebanon. So Mia moves on from this lie to...
All right, I did find what Ethan said. Wait,
The only time Ian's apologized is after I sent him the cease and desist, and I did not perceive it as genuine, right? And I said, and I still say, that if Ian would issue a genuine apology, I'd probably think about dropping the lawsuit. I don't think he's ever genuinely apologized or reckoned with the fact that like what he did was so extraordinarily fucked up. If he did that, I would probably drop the lawsuit. It's really not a, it's not. Huggy Tonic is a fucking psychopath. I don't remember all the crazy shit that guy said, but they're friends with him. And I says, how can you be friends with this guy and friends with me? It doesn't make any sense. This guy wants to like murder my children. Or he was engaging with the guy. I don't remember. He's his friend. Little fucking decency for my buddy. You know? So, you know, as traumatic as this lawsuit is for you, I don't want to do it either. Just make a sincere apology, bro. That's it. I'm not looking to destroy their lives or get caught in this like quagmire of a sick effed up lawsuit. I don't want that. I don't want another lawsuit on my shoulders. That's all I want. Just a little like fucking acknowledgement of what you did.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I just I don't know. My stance on this whole thing is it just feels like Ethan Klein is like legitimately on something. Just something else. And I don't even know how to even react to it because it's just like I listen to him and I'm like, okay. Like just don't sue people. Just drop it. Once you drop all this shit, it's over. Like no one else is gonna give a shit about you anymore, dude. Just drop it. Okay, so you said Luke Beasley? Okay. Oh my God. Is this clickbait? Is it really? Because it feels like I'm just looking at this and it looks like clickbait.
Personally, really want. A very closely watched Senate race will be in Georgia, where John Ossoff, the Democratic incumbent, will be defending his.
I mean, at least it's 15 minutes and not 30 minutes. That's my issue with Luke Beasley. It's like, all right, 30. It's like 25, 30-minute long videos, 40-minute long videos to get to the actual news article. All right. So, okay,
Senate
see how long it takes to get to that.
As someone who personally really wants to see this hunk run for president, it's pretty important he wins his Senate race for that to be an option. Don't get that B-roll out of my face. Just kidding.
Fast forward past Ossoff. Oh my God, I can't say his name. But yeah, so I'll be honest with you. This guy is talking a good game.
Leave it up. And so Trump is now panicking, right? Trump has to start thinking a competition between two Republicans now that a Republican opponent has been selected. There was a competition between two Republicans. Mike Collins has now been in again race of the power. He just gained like 30 pounds of muscle from my perception, okay? And that is Operation One. Think of a nickname. Like or Sapuan, God, or these days than Joe even ever was. But something I don't think his branding he sent out. He will win his Senate. So happy for highly respected Congressman Mike Collins. He will win his Senate race in Georgia against a pathetic failed Democrat Senator Oss. And then this article, because it's vulgar, blacks out what he put in parentheses, off. So he put Oss So
Oss jack off. All right, that's the joke. All right. Oh, this is the stuff. If you just ignored it and just did not point attention to it, it'd just go away. Because this is the bullshit that Trump wants people to focus on instead of the failed Iran war. He wants you to focus on him saying something outrageous, which is not even that outrageous. It's just silly. and it's fucking something that someone would have come up with in middle school. It's weird. So okay, so all right, 2 minutes and I would say 30 seconds in. All right, we got that. What are they talking about at the 6-minute marker? Let's just go to that.
Into people's head, planting the seed, if you will, into people's head of jerk off in the same sentence as Ossoff, trust me, is going to be an advantage for him, not you.
What?
The more that you try to attack him by sexualizing him, the worse you're going to do in this election. That's all I'm saying, especially when Mike Collins. Was Mike Collins the one recently who his staffer posted a photo of him jacked? Who is that?
What?
Yeah. This is the weird political theater stuff that I get like kind of burnt out on, because it's like there's like so much shit going on right now. Like legitimately so many things we can be focusing on, and this is stuff that I get like I feel like I waste my time watching it because it's a nothing burger.
Pretty scandal-free background like Tallarico is to go dig up during the height of 2020 sensitivity, and people were kind of trying to understand what does it mean to be an ally, and how do we speak about these issues in a more awoken fashion. And in that process, some people said things that sounded kind of cringe.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch a full episode of anyone lately. It's rough. It's been rough lately. I think things, you know, I always say it. It's the Trump is dying. You know, his events are going to be a failure. You know, the newest one is the reflecting pond is ruined, and I'm like, yeah. Everyone knew that was something that was going to happen. He was just going to fuck it all up. You know. Notice the CC can't get Ossoff's name right either. It's an interesting name,
and spoke about things.
I don't know.
From
under the hood,
conservative was selected as Ossoff's opponent.
This is Mike.
I'm a conservative, pro-life, pro-gun, pro-Trump, God-fearing, truck-driving outsider.
You sound like a fucking asshole. Dude.
Well, sorta. Let's see what's actually under the hood.
Pro-Trump, America First trucker.
Mike prides himself on his down-home, every-man bootstrap roots.
I'm just a good old boy that's made a living in the trucking business.
Oh, God. Oh, they finally got it right?
Look, I got a mullet,
They
so
actually
I
got
must
the name
be
right?
grounded in the concerns that you have. I hate when they do that. Ted Cruz did it too. He wore that shirt or so.
Man, look at his eye. I think they're goddamn gray. Goddamn reptilian.
Merch that said Mitch McConnell in the front, MAGA in the back.
Awesome. Yeah.
Which he meant like he had a clean cut on the front, but then a mullet looking thing on the back. And he's like, yeah, regular Republican in the front, MAGA goes in the back door or something.
Luke.
So the similar thing for Mike Collins. And then I love when he's like, I'm just a everyday trucker. And then you find out he owns a trucking company. You're like, well.
Yeah, well, that's how all those guys are. You know, they say they're this thing, but it turns out no, they're actually the people who own it, and they're the slave drivers.
That's different. You have this a lot with people who are like, I'm a hard-working construction American. And you look into it and they own like a $20 million, like a $100 million construction company or something. You're like, that's not exactly, you work in an Pam. Named Pam.
An assistant named.
She said
assistant
Pam.
named Pam.
Right, thank you. Couldn't think of every name I thought of were people I actually have worked with. I thought of my own bookkeeper's name, and I was about to say her name, and I don't want to make
Good old boy that's made a living.
Tallarico. Oh, well, they call him Talafrico now. the right is actually trying to take that and turn it into something insane over here, and at least in Texas. God, let me see if I can find the Greg Abbott post, and go from there. But here, I'll let that
In the
play.
trucking business, an outsider.
Truth is, Mike took over his dad's trucking company and followed in his footsteps straight to Congress. His rich daddy, a former congressman and career politician himself, handed Mike the keys to a company with dozens of employees, making multimillionaire Mike richer, while real truckers did the actual work. Maybe that's why Trump likes him so much.
Mike Collins, Mike Collins, Mike Collins.
And it might be why in Congress, he's looked out for the richest 1% and big corporations instead of ordinary hard-working Georgians.
Well, hello, New York!
Like when he voted to double health insurance premiums for more than 1 million Georgians in order to give the wealthiest Americans and corporations another tax break. Or when he voted against releasing the Epstein files, covering for Trump and other powerful men. He even admitted.
All right, yeah, so this is the post. I actually saw it on Facebook when it was all happening. And the comments were fucking insane. But it literally is Tallarico's face on, you know, AOC's face, or like body. Yeah. No matter what Tallarico says on the campaign trail, the truth is his record is much more aligned with AOC than the ideals of Texans. It goes further. Can I? They did not put the full thing out. Okay. Trying to see if they actually quoted it. You have to find it, but it's literally just dumb, made up bullshit. Okay, my computer is
Trump was in the
officially
files.
Yeah, true.
Computer's officially running like shit right now. So let me see if I can find the actual post because I want to read it again. I clicked on it and I read through it and I was all like, all right, just a bunch of bullshit. It's just mud. It's like mudslinging. That's it. Ah, okay, I think I found it. Okay, it says, yeah. Jimmy Tallarico authored the Texas Climate Action Act, Texas Green New Deal. Thankfully for Texans, this bill died in committee. No matter what Tallarico says on the campaign trail, the truth is his record is much more aligned with AOC than the ideals of Texans. And it's just like, okay. You know, it's literally just looking at it. The bill sought to push Texans' net greenhouse gas emissions to near zero by 2050. Republicans painted it as a death blow to the state's oil and gas industries. I sent you pics of some of the shirts to your Discord. Oh, yeah. I've seen a few of them. I know there's an official one. I think they took it and they're running with it. But
Who's in there? And it doesn't stop there. Mike's put.
Now, just because that's the case, sure. Whereas, so that's like the attack against Collins. That's fair.
Under picture dump? Okay, I'll take a look. Okay, I'm going to pull up. We'll go ahead and close this stuff out. We'll close. Oh, I just closed the one thing that was fun to watch. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it back. I mean, I can do this. Oh my god. I'm like running on zero brain power today. I think I just did not sleep all that, but it is what it is. I woke up today and I was all like, it was like 9:30 in the morning and I'm like, it's way too early for this bullshit. And so I'm running on at least 2 cups of coffee and It is. It's been pretty interesting today. Trying to get a third one in right now. Oh, history. There we go.
On from this lie to an even.
There we go. We got it. Okay, and I'm gonna pull up.
More confusing lie where she claims that Hezbollah broke the ceasefire by firing 2 rockets into Israel after Khamenei's death, while at the same time claiming that Lebanon wasn't actually even a part of the ceasefire in the first place.
On cemeteries with funeral processions.
Oh, we don't want to mention that it's a funeral of a Hezbollah member.
Oh, yeah.
All I'm saying is we gave them a shortcut.
So I actually missed this comment when I was recording.
Yeah, it is. I've seen these before. I'm a Talafrico. I mean, look, it's not my taste, but
bombed, which
it is kind of funny.
Sassily approving of here
It's
with
pretty
the
funny.
Gen Z boom sound effects. It was being attended by hundreds of people, families, men, women, and children. The bombing itself, which could be seen from miles away, there was a giant mushroom cloud, that killed at least 10 people and injured over 100. It destroyed dozens of graves. Watching Mia justify this heinous act with such confident snark, it really is a bizarre experience. It's like watching an alien.
In the midst of a ceasefire.
A ceasefire? What the fuck are you talking about? There was not a ceasefire with Lebanon. Wait a minute. There was. Hezbollah decided to break that ceasefire when they launched 2 missiles into Israel to avenge Khamenei's death.
And in a way, she's right. There was a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah signed in November of 2024. But what happened during that ceasefire? Well, Israel attacked Lebanon nearly every day and killed over 500 people. If you would consult the graph as reported by CNN, you can see that the violations during this period between Israel and Hezbollah are incomparable. That's the factual record.
I'm sorry, did you think that Lebanon is somehow part of a ceasefire that America is trying to make with Iran? That's a bit weird. Why would you think that?
Well, because it was a part of the ceasefire. Lebanon was a part of the April ceasefire agreement. This is the official announcement from the mediators in Pakistan. Lebanon is there in the official announcement. This is what the third-party observers, like a number of U.S. diplomats and the president of France, all said. Lebanon was a part of it. The only ones who claimed otherwise were the people who broke the ceasefire, who attacked a country that they weren't supposed to attack. That's Israel and Donald Trump.
Yes, you should place the blame firmly at their feet. Because it's the truth. I'll be honest with you. I just don't know. I don't know if you have. Yeah, I don't know if you have eyes and ears. If you can't just make the connection that like Trump and Netanyahu are just doing shit just to do shit. They have no regard for life and the life of just people in general. And to me, it is infuriating to just sit there and see them just being so blasé about it. I mean, you can even go back to the drone strikes with Obama. Like, that stuff was fucked. This is fucked as well. And I feel like it's insane that we're kind of just, this is just blatant. It's like in our faces. Like, like, they're not even trying to like cover it up. It's just like, yeah, here you go. We're doing it.
After a phone call with Netanyahu, of course. Okay, on to the next video, finally. So this next clip is a shorter one. It's a 2-part slideshow. Let's watch.
The IDF is forcing 12-year-old Palestinian children to fight for them against Hamas inside Gaza.
I ain't never been with a body. She calls so I added to the tally. Madison, but I'm calling her Maddie. Yeah, like much try to see me that petty. What's a right that I left at the alley? The alley, you don't look.
First part of the screen reads, the IDF is forcing 12-year-old Palestinian children to fight for them against Hamas inside Gaza. Then we get an epic Sigma transition, and it cuts to an article that reads, children as young as 12 can join the war support, IRGC says. Okay, so we got another double standard here, right? These pro-Palis care so much when the IDF uses Palestinian children as human shields against Hamas, which is something they factually do, and I don't really know.
Yeah, children would sometimes be used as human shields when there was a danger of hidden snipers or booby traps. That is like heartless, like it's callous. It's awful.
Why Mia is admitting that here while defending the IDF, but when Iran does the same thing or worse, you stay silent. But that's not That's not what the article says. The article is quoting an IRGC official stating that they've lowered entry age requirements to 12 to assist with activities such as patrols, checkpoints, and logistics, apparently in response to an increase in children coming forward to participate. Nowhere in this article that she is citing does it say that the IRGC is forcing anyone to fight.
Yeah, I mean, the title even kind of says that children as young as 12 can join war support, which I don't like the idea of children being involved in any form of conflict. I don't like the idea of war in general. But when you are living in a constant state of fear, I can see how people who grew up in these war-torn sort of like war-torn, times, especially Gazans, I could see how their children have to grow up very, very, very fast. And yeah, I could see them being like, hey, I want to help. How can I help? Do I like that? No, I don't. I don't think any child should be ever put in a position where they feel like they have to join, some sort of, militant group or just the military in general. Like that's messed up. But I understand it because you can see what's happening there,
Mia is misrepresenting the source she cites to delegitimize activists that are against Israel doing war crimes with children. What makes this especially weird is that Mia has made a bunch of videos calling for Israel and America to bomb Iran. It's actually what got her banned off of TikTok, apparently.
You need to hear what happened with my TikTok account. My account was permanently banned. They have taken down about 15 private videos of mine. And it's literally 5 to 10 second clips of me and my siblings laughing while filming a video with a sound that was available to use on TikTok. The sound was the song Bomb Iran.
Okay. I wish every child could be a child. I do too. Yeah, you wonder why. I wonder why it was taken down.
So it is a little ironic in it to be pretending to care about the lives of Iranian children while actively cheering on a campaign that is mass murdering them. Sort of conflicting ideas there.
The U.S. responsible for killing over 100 children in Iran school attack. That's fucked. That's something that, that should be plastered everywhere. Our country was responsible for killing 100 children in Iran. Messed up.
Yeah, right.
Bro, it's literally one. Just push it. Sorry,
No.
sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. What
Catching your kid be pro-Palestine in 2026.
happened when I'm gonna take in the PlayStation, disconnect it, and put the whole thing in your ass? What? I don't know. What's gonna happen then?
So the joke here is that the parent is threatening to punish their kid for supporting Palestine. The punishment in question here being the insertion of a PlayStation into the child's rectum. So rape. Israeli humor be like, rape.
The Tribeca Festival in New York. Influencer Lizzie Savetsky and stand-up comedian Elon Gold made a dog-raping joke referencing the systematic rape of Palestinians in Israel jails over the past 2 years. What the fuck? Okay. I need to go back just a little bit.
Into the child's rectum. So rape. Israeli humor be like, rape.
Obviously muted. It's really a big deal. It's a really big deal for a film made in Israel. That's pretty damn cool. I was only raped by 2 Israeli dogs. I thought they raped only Palestinians. What? No. I got also a dog. Wait. Hold on. Did I? Yeah. I thought they only raped Palestinians. No. I got also a dog.
Argue that.
What in the fuck? what in the fuck is like?
Okay, hey, it's just.
I don't even know what to say. Like that's the thing. I don't even know what to say because it's just so. I don't know. It just didn't feel real.
Your speech. It's like saying, I'm gonna stick my foot up your ass. Her point is that she doesn't want her kid supporting Palestine or terrorists, as she wrote it in the description. Be that as it may, I feel like this joke has a far more sinister connotation when it's being made by an Israeli Zionist. Israeli prisons are notorious for their rampant and systemic use of sexual abuse and rape as methods of torture against Palestinian detainees. It's been widely reported on, with testimony from actual victims, including that Israeli security forces have been training and using dogs to rape them.
What in the fuck? I did not see this part, by the way, yesterday. This is some of the stuff I missed.
سمعت تبع
I heard the dog handler's voice.
الكلب كنت أنا
I remember his voice from before.
يعني بنساش صوته من قبل فبيحكي
He was talking to the dog,
مع
but
الكلب بألفاظ يعني أنا
I could only understand the word mess.
ما فهمت غير كلمة ميسي وكأنه الكلب اسمه ميسي. وطلب منه
He has to do something in a
بلغة بينهم الاثنين إنه يعمل
language between the two of them. My shock, the dog mounted me.
بتفاجئ الكلب إنه بيركبني ويبدأ بمجامعتي كمجامعة أنثى من جنسه.
Jesus.
يعني شعرت بعضو الكلب وهو يلامس جسمي وشعرت في ايديه وهن ماسكت لي من ظهري وشعرت في لعابه وهو بينزل علي وانا بصرخ وبحكي له لا مشان الله يعني وبحاول اشد على حالي حتى ما يتمكن مني الكلب. استمر الحدث تقريبا 3 إلى 4 دقائق.
One of the primary methods of this sexual abuse in these is
Yeah. Fucking Christ.
Israeli prisons is the insertion of foreign objects like batons into their rectums. Palestinians have been killed, literally raped to death in this manner. So you'll have to forgive me for just having trouble finding the humor in a quirky video describing that same kind of rape posted by someone who supports the army committing those rapes and also being done to a kid that is standing against those same rapes. There's a lot of layers to this.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like what I talk about when it comes to like, and I'm not trying to make the direct comparison to MAGA, but it's like when something is normalized, it just becomes part of your day to day and the things that you say and the things that you do, and it feels like this is the stuff that they normalize, and it's so messed up.
Okay, another two-parter, short video. Transition with Sigma music, dramatic stare into the front-facing iPhone camera. The text reads, 2 Jews got stabbed in England by an Islamist who went to a Jewish neighborhood specifically to kill Jews. And the next slide reads, anyway guys, I really think we should talk about the rise in Islamophobia. So this post is likely a reference to the Golders Green attack on April 29th of this year, in which 2 Jewish men were stabbed in a Jewish neighborhood in the UK. But truth teller Mia here isn't exactly telling the truth about this story. See, the suspect for this stabbing, 45-year-old Essa Suleiman, a British national, did allegedly stab 2 Jewish men on that day, but Suleiman was charged with 3 counts of attempted murder, not 2, because earlier in the day he also stabbed another person, his friend Ismail Hussein, who is Muslim. So here...
Yeah, I mean, look, I would like to know more about, like, the individual's intentions. I mean, he could be anti-Semitic. We don't know. But, yeah, this is just not great.
Here, Mia mocks the idea that violence against Muslims is an issue, that it's being overblown by the media, while omitting a documented case of violence against a Muslim in the very news story she's sharing. She refers to Suleiman as an Islamist, implying that the attack was motivated by religious extremism, but there's no evidence for this accusation. An extremist group with alleged ties to Iran took credit for the attack, but no evidence has been presented confirming any actual links between Suleiman and the group. Security analysts are skeptical of the group's claims and believe that they may be piggybacking off of any recent attacks reported in the media. What we do have, though, is evidence that he was a former psychiatric patient living in supported housing.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, this person was disturbed and was obviously a risk.
Housing after leaving a secure hospital under NH.
And I appreciate, Noah being very thorough about these things, because like even I was kind of like, okay, I need to know more, like what actually happened. This individual was not of sound mind, obviously.
Care that very week, and that he has a history of violence related to his mental health issues. Instead of any of these facts, though, Mia opts to give the unproven, assumed explanation. The false double standard she's invented here is especially insidious, considering that the vast majority of statements from mainstream outlets about the Golders Green attack, including from government officials and government agencies, ignored the Muslim victim entirely. The two Jewish victims were named, interviewed, photographed, and had their injuries described in detail. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer made an announcement condemning this anti-Semitic act of terrorism. The British Home Secretary gave thoughts and prayers to the British Jewish community, spoke of their suffering, and announced increases in investments to protect them. But for the Muslim victim and the British Muslim community, no words of support, no prayers, and no investments for increased protection. I can't think of a clearer example proving the exact opposite of the point Mia is trying to make here. Truly, she's outdone herself with this.
I always hated liars since I was a little girl.
The next one is a video Mia made providing commentary of media coverage of the Bondi Beach attacks in December.
Worldwide media is 100% correct. We cannot determine the motive of this attack or whether this attack was anti-Semitic at all, purely based on the fact it was a mass shooting at about 1,000 Jewish people on a Jewish event during a Jewish holiday, and all the victims were Jewish.
In it, Mia asserts that the worldwide media did not determine the motive of the attack, despite the targets being Jewish people at a Jewish event, her implication being that they didn't cover it as an anti-Semitic attack. But the record shows the exact opposite. Mainstream coverage uniformly framed this shooting as an anti-Semitic attack. What the media did leave out, though, completely, is the event and its organizers' ties to Israel and Zionism. Chabad is a Zionist organization that sponsors trips to Israel and fundraises for the IDF. One of the main organizers of the event, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, expressed support for the genocidal IDF on social media, posted photos with them.
Friends, ladies and gentlemen, I am here at the Marpeset Shel HaMedina, which means the porch of the country. It's an unbelievable place. It's a very, very high peak, and from here you can see half the country.
I don't know. I just, anytime I hear groups funding IDF, I'm like, all right, I can't do it. Like, this is just
unbelievable place. Can you imagine if this was in the hands of the Arabs? This is right in the heart of the West Bank. This is why this...
Wait, what? I don't know. Anyone supporting Israeli Defense Force, I'm just kind of like, Jesus Christ. Like, what was it? Chad was the name of the group? Chabad.
That sponsors trips to Israel and fundraises for the IDF. One of the main organizers of the event, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, expressed support for the genocidal IDF on social media, posted photos with...
The porch of the country. It's an unbelievable place. It's a
I don't think he's the guy who did the shooting. No.
And from here you can see half the country. Unbelievable place. Can you imagine if this was in the hands of the Arabs? This is right in the heart of the West Bank. This is why this needs to be in the hands of the Jewish people, because...
So reasoning for killing Palestinians. Cool, got it. Okay.
Of its security, and obviously the obvious, because it belongs to us, because it's our land. I'm standing over here with a beautiful, beautiful Chayal, a soldier, a man who has left his family to be able to protect this village at this very, very heightened moment. What's your name?
And my name is Dolev.
Dolev. And
This is the thing. It's this belief that you own something because your people may have been there. I guess during like, fucking the early, God, when did they get when did Israel turn into Palestine? Okay, Israel did not become Palestine. Rather, I know that. Like, this fucking AI. Israel became Israel in 1947, which was proposed by the United Nations Resolution 181, a partition plan to split the land into separate independent Jewish and Arab states. With Jerusalem under international administration. Jewish leaders accepted the plan. Arab leaders rejected it. Right. I mean, and rightly so. It's like, this is our land, and now you're telling us to get out? We've been here for forever. They found drama actors in the crowd, and it left the news cycle quick. I thought it was a red flag. The shooting in Australia. Okay, so Jerusalem. We'll look into it. We'll see if we can find something. Okay. Became the man. Okay, so before 1948, Palestine was not an independent sovereign state. Historically, it was administered as part of the Ottoman Empire until World War I, and later became a territory under the Mandate for Palestine, governed by Great Britain from 1920 to 1948. Hey, what's up? What's up, Colin? How you doing, man? Yeah, that's crazy. So from 1516 to 1917, the region was divided into several sub-province sanjaks ruled by the Ottoman government in Istanbul, rather than operating as an independent Arab entity. I'm good. Long time no see. Yeah, no, I'm good, man. By the way, oh, you want me to drink some water? I'll drink some water for you, man. We're just kind of like, we're looking at news stuff today, but yeah, we're talking about how what Israel was before it became Israel. And I was like, okay, what wasn't it mostly owned by, it was mostly Arab. Actually, I think it was all Arab there. And I was like, was it Palestine before it became Israel? This is stuff that I don't know. I'm not really good with geography, and even historical geography. I'm terrible at it. So I always welcome people like correcting me on that stuff because I like to learn and I try to remember stuff. But yeah, my ADHD is like some of the worst sometimes. What's so crazy is when you read this, May 14th, 1948, leading to the declaration of the State of Israel, while Israel was admitted to the United Nations, a parallel independent Arab Palestinian state was not established at that time. The remaining territories were subsequently administered by neighboring Arab countries. Wow. fascinating stuff. There's actually a video. Oh.
The question of Palestine.
I can actually bring that over. Yeah. What kind of news? We're actually looking. So lately we've been watching the Necessary Conversation, which is basically, two liberal, I would say Democratic children talk to their two very MAGA coded parent, and we kind of discuss it today. There's supposed to be an episode today, but I have stuff to do today, so I can't really watch it. So we're just kind of doing just like some random news stuff. It's kind of like impromptu. I didn't put a notice out last night. I should have, letting people know on YouTube that I was going to be live. But I'll be live again tomorrow though, because we'll watch the Necessary Conversation tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to do anything on Friday though. I've got a friend coming down to go to a drafting event, and he wants to go do some stuff beforehand. So I'm like, hey, cool, we'll do that.
Dolev, on behalf of the entire village over here, has received a very, very sizable donation from our community in Sydney.
And in response to footage from Gaza and pro-Palestine protests, made repeated calls for Amalek. Amalek is the biblical command for the killing of every man, woman, and child that's been used as a rallying cry for Israel's genocide in Gaza by people like Benjamin Netanyahu. These references to Amalek are cited in South Africa's case accusing Israel of genocide.
Oh, my girlfriend made these of my cat, Gizmo. Oh, those are cute. Actually, really cute. Those are nice. Congrats on those. Those are great.
Genocide at the International Court of Justice. Schlenger's history of these references, the dog whistle equivalent of kill all the Jews, was totally missing from mainstream coverage of his death. And this contrasts with media coverage of Palestinians that are killed by Israel. Their social media is routinely scrutinized after they've been executed. That was the case with dozens of Palestinian journalists who were posthumously labeled as terrorists for execution. Okay, now let's get to the last example. It's a video from Mia about the famine in Gaza.
All I know is that I was depressed before, and now I found meaning. I didn't know you were depressed. Neither did I.
And there it is. This is the...
Okay, I'm just kind of Googling unsharing misinformation after a terrorist attack in the wake of Bondi Beach. Yeah, so how media coverage and social media amplified false information following a terrorist attack. In the first 72 hours after the Bondi Beach terrorist attack, misinformation spread rapidly across social media and news platforms. Early false reports, speculations, and errors by artificial intelligence systems shaped public perception and contributed to confusion and harm. Okay, we examined the stages through which this information developed after a major incident, and offer guidance on how audience can critically navigate breaking news. All right, I don't need that. I want to know what was the false information. Okay, in the hours after the following following the attack, significant misinformation circulated across social media and online platforms. Early reports incorrectly identified the perpetrators, and in some cases falsely linked unrelated individuals to the attack, leading to harassment and threats directed at innocent people. Okay, separately, conspiracy theories emerged suggesting the attack was staged as a false flag operation, despite no credible evidence to support such claims. You know, I'm gonna have to look into this website. It's a very weird website. I don't know who's running it, but it's very
the real Mia.
weird.
See, concern trolling over anti-Semitism or
Great.
Iranian lives or
not saying it was staged.
misrepresenting
No,
sources to
No, I didn't. I wasn't saying you were saying it's staged. I was actually trying to look and see if there was some sort of weird, sort of false flag narrative that was going on. That's what I was kind of concerned at looking at, because that stuff always fascinates me. It's like, how does a rumor get started? How does a thing like that actually happen? And I mean, it's social media, of course, is really the big big thing to point at. It is the thing that currently can, like you look at Mary Lou on Necessary Conversation. She looks at stuff on Instagram and TikTok and believes it's the truth, even though it's AI generated garbage most of the time.
Double standards, that's all classic propaganda. It's all stuff you can get away with on social media and not look like a complete freak to the uninformed. But a standalone video with the sole purpose of mocking the victims of a documented and ongoing starvation campaign, denying that one is even happening, accusing them of acting, that's the ugly cruelty of Zionism laid bare. And no matter how you try to dress it up, no amount of sarcasm, trendy haircuts, or viral sound effects will ever truly conceal that ugliness. I'd like to think that to any reasonable observer, the psychotic bloodlust and open disregard for human suffering is readily apparent in all of these posts. And I think that might be true, but consumers of Israelis
saying that there's actors to put into, oh, it looked like he was hurt, and to put out the message they wanted out there. Okay. Yeah, I can think we can probably research that and see what that's all
Question
about.
of Palestine keeps returning to our screens. But why? Well, it's an injustice and a denial of human rights that has persisted for over 100 years.
Yep. Ah, you're still alive. Yes. Hey, Red. Yeah, this is the stuff that I need to watch because it's stuff that helps me kind of understand what is happening, what is going on in the world.
With global implications. Here is a brief overview. After World War I, the League of Nations placed Palestine, formerly part of the Ottoman Empire,
Who's seen another
under a
attacks?
British administration that supported the
If you have a link to that stuff, let me know. I would love to look at it.
creation of a Jewish national home there, a move that pleased Zionist leaders who considered it the ancient Jewish homeland.
Right. Which then, of course, they're going to get into it here, but, kicking out a whole group of people being like, hey, we're splitting the land, and then have that people consistently murder and kidnap and do horrendous things that are against the Geneva Convention is, the 10 steps of genocide.
Amid increased immigration and foreign rule, Palestinians who had lived on the land for centuries
I don't
staged
just
an
remember it
uprising
from
from
another live podcast.
1936
Okay.
to 1939, which led to repression, including by British forces and Jewish militia. In 1947, the UN decided to partition Palestine into two independent states. Jerusalem was to be placed under UN administration. However, Israel declared independence in 1948 and captured much more of Palestine than the partition plan allocated, except for the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, held by Jordan, and the Gaza.
This is a heads up. Yeah, okay. I just Googled it. Images of crisis actors at Bondi Beach shooting are AI generated. Fascinating stuff. That's fascinating. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to look into it more.
Gaza Strip, held by Egypt. More than half of the Palestinians were expelled from or fled their homes and ended up in refugee camps in the West Bank, Gaza, and neighboring countries.
It was so funny. We had someone come in, I think during one of my first lives on YouTube, and we're basically saying like, the Israelis have to fight because of it's their histories there. Like they have to do these things. And I'm like, they haven't been there for over 500 years. The people who were currently living there were not the people who, quote unquote, took the land from the Israelis. And, I was like, look, I don't know enough to have this conversation with you. I feel a lot better knowing that what I was saying was actually kind of on point, where it's like, hey, Israel and the way that they see it, or way they believe it was, is kind of the current state of Israel. It's something that was essentially set up about 100 years ago, or was in the process of being set up 100 years ago. World War II kind of, allowed that to like be accelerated. And on top of that, the British owning that territory. Yeah, it was a recipe, for disaster. But those people were living there. They were on the land. They had homes there, and they were told to get the fuck out. And that's awful, and that's terrible, and that is disgusting. And I don't know how anyone can view that, even if you are pro-Israel, how you can look at that and go, yeah, this is cool. Like, yeah, it's a good thing that they did. It's always under the guise of religion, too. That's the other thing that I have an issue with. It's under the guise of religion. Well, it's their holy land. I'm like, yeah, but it's a real attack and many were hurt. That's all that matters. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I read it and I was reading some of the little articles that I saw and I was like, okay, yeah, I can see how people were probably getting information in and being like, oh, look, it might be a false, a crisis actor or a false flag. I get that because there was a lot of that stuff happening with, I think October 7th as well. I know during that period of time, it was like extraordinarily rough to hear the stories and then also see that, there was misinformation coming out, like, certain things were being said about what like Hamas did and it was not necessarily accurate, but I digress.
Palestinians refer to this as the Nakba, or catastrophe. They remain refugees to this day, mostly relying on the UN Palestine Refugee Agency, which was created specifically for this case. In the 1967 Six-Day War, fought between Israel and neighboring Arab states, an additional 500,000 Palestinians were forced to flee. Israel occupied Gaza and the West Bank and annexed East Jerusalem, including the Old City. In the years following, the UN General Assembly affirmed the rights of Palestinians to self-determination, sovereignty, independence, and refugee return. In 1974, it recognized the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people. Palestinians revolted against the Israeli occupation in 1987, referred to as the First Intifada, or uprising. Intense diplomacy followed and led to the signing of the interim Oslo Accords between Israel and the PLO in the 1990s. Palestinians recognized Israel, and the Palestinian Authority was established to govern parts of the West Bank.
It feels like this was kind of like a way to try to mitigate, like, hey, maybe we should stop attacking each other, sort of thing. But let's let it continue.
Gaza Strip. Further negotiations failed to resolve the remaining issues, as Israel expropriated Palestinian land and continued to transfer its population to illegal settlements in occupied Palestinian territory. During the Second Intifada in 2000, armed clashes and bomb attacks.
Yeah, I heard a military guy saying that they took him on a tour of the area to get him all angry for what had happened to them, but the evidence wasn't adding up. You're talking about the Bondi beach shooting? I'll have to dig into it. That feels like a fascinating sort of rabbit hole. I mean, we live in an age right now where like we can't even trust that, what we saw with Charlie Kirk as being like, not something that was set up. Oh, October 7th. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, October 7th is a there's a lot of propaganda coming from Israel about October 7th. In my personal opinion, there's not even personal opinion. I believe that. I think a lot of people believe that. But yeah, like I don't know. Like there's so much shit that's going on right now. Like I can't trust what happened to Charlie Kirk. I don't believe the attempts on Trump were like actually real. It does feel like at least the one that happened at the rally, it does feel like that was staged. Because in my personal opinion, no Secret Service agent would let you stand up to throw a fist up in the air after a gunshot went off. Because they don't know if there's another sniper somewhere. Like it to me just feels like if they let him do that and this was not a lie or a staged event, then those Secret Service agents should be not Secret Service agents because it's I mean, if there was two people, he could have been shot.
Ensued. Israel built the West Bank separation wall, much of it inside Palestinian territory, seizing land and restricting freedom of movement. The International Court of Justice determined that the wall inside Palestinian territory was illegal. In 2005, Israel withdrew troops and settlers from Gaza. After an armed takeover by Hamas, Palestine's Islamic resistance movement, in 2007, Israel imposed a blockade on Gaza, which has caused a deepening humanitarian crisis.
Like the place where they were supposed to have broke through is highly guarded, a highly guarded area. They couldn't have gotten through if they had. They wouldn't gotten far enough. The bullets in the walls matched were from Israel. So okay, so they matched Israel's bullets. Is that essentially what what you're saying there?
Along with Palestinian resistance. Palestine became a UN non-member observer state in 2012, and a few years later, the Security Council demanded that Israel cease illegal settlement activity. However, settlements continue to.
We can dig into that. I'm very curious because I think there's a lot of conspiracy theories being thrown around about stuff, and I think in the world we live in, it does feel like we're kind of living in this age where it does feel like we're being actively lied to, and there's so much manipulation happening that it feels like anything's on the table at this point.
Despite broad international support for a two-state solution, it has not been possible to justly resolve core final status issues in accordance with UN resolutions. And that is why, until justice and international law prevail and Israel ends its occupation, we will continue to see the Palestinians struggle for their rights on our screens.
Okay. Yeah, so that was pretty informative, and now have a better understanding of at least pre-1980s Palestine and Israel relations there. Okay. Yeah. This is reinforces, like, if anyone comes in here and is all like, Israel has to do what they're doing because that's their land, and you got shadow banned again? It might have filtered it out. Like, look, I don't have the chat like moderation setting turned up too high, but it could just be like, hey, this is some radical shit here. Okay, hold on. I'm going to okay. Yeah. I could see why they're banning it. I wouldn't particularly ban it. But, you know.
Stuff that's gone now. You could argue about why it's gone.
How is that? How is that possible? How is it that in Israel, the guy is being that aggressive and his support is getting higher?
I don't think his personal support is going. We'll see what happens in these elections. Because you
just said 80%. I mean,
the war, right? This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying don't focus on Netanyahu. It's a very good cop-out. Even Bernie Sanders, who I'm a big fan of, he often says, Netanyahu. A lot of Palestinians say, Bernie, it's not Netanyahu. It's Israel. It's the Israeli political establishment. So if you swap out.
Yes, exactly. I think so. I have a hard time saying, all of Israel is, at fault for this. It's the political kind of movement within Israel that is the issue. It's not just Netanyahu. It is literally Israel's sort of what he says here. It's literally.
A lot of Palestinians say, Bernie, it's not Netanyahu, it's Israel. It's the Israeli political establishment. So if you swap.
Yeah, so it's the political establishment that is the main issue. There is a lot of footage of, and let me find it. There's a lot of footage of Israelis literally saying they're okay with the death of people who are Palestinian. Find those.
I'll give you one example. If you swap out Netanyahu tomorrow with Naftali Bennett, who's an opposition leader, former prime minister, I interviewed him once. Naftali Bennett is also on the right, also likes war, has threatened Turkey, has threatened Lebanon. You've got another opposition leader, Avigdor Lieberman, former defense minister. You know what he said this week? He said, flatten the suburbs of Beirut. We should be going in and don't listen to Trump. So the opposition in Israel are equally hawkish, right-wing. So this idea that it's all about Netanyahu, it's a myth, I'm sorry to say.
All right, let's take a look at this one. that right there, the comparison to Tel Aviv and the beach to that, I ran so far away, a flock of seagulls. Hey, you know, there's this idea that Flock of Seagulls would have been one of the greatest bands ever, if not for the name. It's hard to with our Texan accent. I know we don't have much of one, but it's a little one. It comes out randomly for me. So I grew up in Texas, and I am quite shocked that it is not something that comes out. I was around my grandmother literally talked with an accent like this. "Oh, hello there, Joel." You know, and you're like, "Oh, okay." Like, I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. Now, I would say, on my mom's side of the family, the Jewish side, there wasn't really an accent on that side, and I think that's probably why I was around them more often. So that's probably why I didn't pick up something like that. Also, watched a lot of TV, so I think that also kind of like feeds into it as well. Palestinian Liberation Organization is an umbrella political and nationalist organization founded in 1964. It serves as the internationally recognized representative of the Palestinian people, governed by the Palestinian National Council (PNC). It acts as a government in exile for the state of Palestine and manages the administrative functions of the Palestinian Authority (PA). Yasser Arafat. That's right. We watched a video earlier about essentially the history of Palestine and Israel, and it was very informative. I honestly, I would highly, I should link it in the description of this, so if anyone does watch it, they should go and check it out. But yeah, all I know is that video actually reinforced some stuff that I had said to someone. I think like it was like maybe like a couple weeks ago. Someone was in the Twitch chat and they were like, "Well, Israel has to fight because, you know, Israel has been essentially, on the defense the entire history of Israel." And I was just like, "But the state of Israel in its current state was not Israel and hadn't been Israel for a very long time." And we were Googling it, and I was like, I needed to know more because I wanted to make sure that I was like, I'm informed about it. And it appears, that territory was not anything other than it was an Arab territory that was being run by the British monarch that was part of the Ottoman Empire at one point in time, and then transitioned around 1921. There was the treaties of Palestine, and then in after the war, World War II, 1944, they said, "We're going to go ahead and give the Jewish people this land." And so they basically uprooted these people who had been living there for forever, for a very, very long time, and said, "You figure it out. This is now their land." And Israel has slowly just took over so much land. It was supposed to be 50-50, and it's not 50-50. Wild about it. They're more concerned, and I understand their concern. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Oh, you're actually talking to Craig. But here's the thing. They're protesting Netanyahu, right? But they're protesting him because he hasn't gotten their family back. The Israelis back. But not because of what's happening in Gaza. That's so weird to me. That it's just so one-sided. It just feels gross to see it. Like, I feel for them because, they're people are hostages. But at the same time, it's just like it's God, what is the word? It's just sad and just gross. It just feels gross. The only reason I haven't streamed on TikTok is I kept getting nuked on TikTok for no reason. And if I talked about anything political on TikTok, my stream would randomly just go down. Like I would get a hey, you've lost connection. This stream has been reported is another thing that kept popping up, and there was never anything wrong with my internet. Like I'd still be streaming on Twitch just fine. It was just yeah, you can't talk about anything Trump related or anything that is negative about Trump. And the reason being is that I believe the Ellises own TikTok now, and they've been basically trying to they're basically trying to not necessarily block, but shadow ban content creators who are speaking ill of the Conservative Party, and unfortunately, I'm one of them. I have nothing good to say about it. I have nothing good to say about the Democratic Party either. So the only thing that shuts me down is the purpose of it. By the way, Colin, is there are people on there who broadcast videos and let them run. So if you ever have gone through TikTok and literally seen the people who have the like for every heart or every flower or every rose that you give me, you can shoot a I don't know, like a Nerf ball at a bunch of what is it, solo cups, and everyone is trying to basically give them little like heart, flowers or anything like that, just so they want that payoff of it actually finally happening, and they want to be the one to do it. The reality is, I actually hopped on to one of those, and I was watching it for just like maybe like a minute, and then I saw it loop back around. Well, it's because of people like that they have been essentially putting inactivity captures in there, because basically it's just conning people. It's literally a con. Yeah, many have quit TikTok since Ellison bought it. Just wasn't worth it anymore to them. I don't do anything with TikTok. I personally find it to be brain rot at this point. I have enough brain rot when it comes to YouTube. So this to me is kind of like, TikTok is an additional piece that I'm like, I'm too old for this shit. This is what I was looking for when I was searching here. Okay. So, yeah, Palestine, 1947. Israel comes in. They split it, and they split it in the most ridiculous way. Like, you would think it would be a 50-50, but I'm pretty sure they're like, we need this part of the land, the Wailing Wall, right? Is that right? Remember. And then you get to 1949 to 1967, and they have slowly taken more land. And then now you look at it, and it's like there's just a smattering of Palestinian land. Like, they're almost at a point where they've absorbed that land. That should be the thing that they show people when they're like, Israel's not doing anything wrong. They're just protecting themselves. It's like, no, they're parasitic. They're taking over the whole fucking, they're not actually agreeing to the deal that they had made. They're like, no, we're taking back all of our land now. And it was like, it was never their land to begin with. Never got into social media things. YouTube and Twitch, Discord, only places I really am on. Yeah, I don't even really do Instagram. I used to do Instagram quite heavily because I ran an art account for a very long time, and even I can't get on there. I'm kind of like over it. I think I do Reddit every once in a while, and Discord I do sometimes. I'm really bad about Discord. And then I don't touch Twitter anymore. I don't touch any of that shit. So yeah, I really stick to YouTube. I don't watch Twitch, to be very honest with you. Oh, hey, wait, there's a video here. Wait. Oh god, I have to see this one. This is did Israel steal Palestinian land? And it says debunked. This image I'm looking at right here is debunked.
In my years as a leftist activist, I used to have
And
an
Rand. All right.
argument
And Rand. All right. Let's hear it.
that I thought would end any pro-Israeli argument. It was an argument that, to me, made very clear why Palestinians were on the right side. And this argument was actually a picture. This argument was a series of maps. And we see these maps right now. They supposedly show us that through the years, Israel is grabbing more and more land from the Palestinians.
Okay. And are you going to wax poetically for 35 minutes? Because I'm not watching this whole thing. I want to see what his point is.
So this
Never
is
really been on Twitter.
the first episode in our supplement.
Don't feed Elon Musk any more engagement. That platform should be dead. I firmly believe that it is mainly made up of bots at this point.
Series trying to shed some light in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And the question we will discuss today is, has Israel actually stolen Palestinian land? And our vehicle for answering this question will be this very famous, I would call it meme. But it's not just a meme.
Oh, it's a meme. Okay.
Because this series of maps has appeared in reputable publications, and as you will see on your screen, but also this series of maps, the so-called diminishing Palestine or shrinking Palestine maps, has also been used by the Palestinians themselves. So, for example, we see the president understand what we are seeing in these maps. So let's break it down. Let's start from the first map that shows the area, the wider area, before 1947. And what I see here, Elan, is a few Jewish settlements, and everything else supposedly belongs to the Palestinians. So is this an accurate representation of what was happening?
We're going to speed this up. Because I just need to understand their thought process here.
No, this map is fundamentally dishonest. I think it's designed to fool people and create a narrative that is far from the truth. So we should go panel by panel through this map, and it's good to start with this first panel. But I think it's important to say, to answer your question, did Israel steal the land? The answer is no, it did not steal the land. And I think there's more to be said about the issue of, is there such a thing as Palestine by a collective? And I think that's one of the pieces of context that this kind of map drops. And the other thing to say, as just set up for this map in general, is that this map is an excellent example of a fallacy that Ayn Rand identified, called the fallacy of drop.
Okay, they're using Ayn Rand. They're using all right. Do I even I now have to go to the comments, because at this point it's like, do I even my God. Is this Carlos Castaneda? I literally thought I read that at first as Carlos Mencia, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let me find a different one, because it feels extraordinarily masturbatory to have a fucking 35-minute video to debunk what they are calling is a meme. And I also feel like they're going to be someone who's going to claim the hold on, let me click on this. Okay, this is a fact check. MSNBC's Palestinian loss of land map. This is an actual article. I'm going to play some music. Go ahead and do that. Yes, The map accurately depicts the land that has been forcibly taken from Palestinians since 1946, 2 years before Israel was established, and the accompanying expulsion of between 750,000 and 1 million Palestinians to make way for a Jewish state. Okay. Did the map specify that Palestine was an independent state prior to 1948? No. Critics have focused on the fact that Palestine was not a sovereign and independent state prior to 1948. However, the map did not claim that it was. The map purported to show Palestinian loss of land at 1946 to present, and it did precisely that accurately. While it is not a recognized independent state under British rule in 1946, Palestine, as a political entity, existed prior to the formation of the State of Israel in 1948. Cool. Going back to ancient times when it was a province of the Roman Empire, until more recently when it was a British mandatory Palestine, immediately preceding Israel's creation. I'm going to keep this up. I'm going to keep this as a thing I point toward. Were there real factual errors in the map? Yes, there were 2 factual errors in the map. It showed that Syrian Golan Heights, which have been under Israeli military occupation since 1967 war as part of Israel, although the international community, including the United States, does not recognize Israeli sovereignty over the area. Okay, but that doesn't, if they've taken over it, they can be like, we don't recognize it, but they still let it happen. They're still letting it happen. That also shows Israel existing in 1946. Okay. Well, that's okay. That's this is the gist of it. The map is fairly accurate. The map is essentially correct, is what they're saying. I don't know. I personally believe it because
my mind.
You just have to look at like what's happening right now, and it makes so much sense. They're actively consuming the land. They're trying to get as much of it as possible, and it's weird. It's weird for me to look at the contradictions in all of these statements. Did you Spain sing "Happy Birthday" to Trump? Wait, what?
How?
Well, if you're talking to me, I do not acknowledge.
Happy birthday to Trump. Happy birthday to Trump. Happy birthday, Mr. Genocide. Señorías, ¿qué celebra?
Damn. Spain coming in hot right there.
Europa.
Like it.
Porque Irán está celebrando que ha ganado. Y Donald Trump, como no puede celebrar que ha ganado, celebra su 80 cumpleaños montándose su propio imperio romano, poniendo a sus gladiadores a romperse la cara como se la han roto a tope.
And she's spitting fucking fire right now. Where was that? It looks like G7. Is that right?
Puria. Podemos celebrar que hemos impedido un genocidio, que hemos parado una agresión ilegal de Estados Unidos e Israel contra Irán.
Or maybe not. Maybe this is European Union. Pretty sure. Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, wait. I just looked at the
Podemos celebrar que
I
hemos
looked at
roto
there's a flag and I was like, wait,
con
that's not
Israel,
it.
que hemos parado la ocupación del Líbano. No.
Remember the GOP pretended to be outraged that Obama was diminishing the opinion of the U.S. abroad? I mean, there is an aspect of that I could see why they probably thought that, but the reality is this: like Obama got along, I think, very well with many of the foreign leaders, and I think they don't. I think I don't understand the mentality or the thought process of someone who falls into the conservative mindset, because it does feel like they are reactionary. It's like all they are. They just get mad about everything. They believe lies, they believe conspiracy theories, and they use that to fuel their animosity. So I don't understand it. I typically like to like actively talk things out and listen to people and try to understand what's happening before I make a decision. And it just seems like, yeah, they're like, it's a black man, he's our president. I'm white and I don't like this. That's where my head goes whenever I think about that stuff. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand why. All I can think is it has to be kind of like, you see all the leaders hugging Biden at the Pope's funeral? Oh, I did not. But I typically avoid looking at organized religion in general. Anything involving the Pope, I'm like, I can't. A bunch of old white dudes were always pissed at a black guy. Touche. Did you hear about the migrant who started raping children within a month of arriving? Wait, what? Oh, yeah. He was white and in Argentina. What the fuck? I was like, where are we going with that? Do you have the news story on that one? I'll look it up. I mean, that to me is, yeah. That makes complete sense. Did Argentinians, U.S. migrant, of course, yeah. Did the Argentinians go after the migrant that was there? Get him out of our country? I'm pretty sure they did. They probably basically shipped him out, right? Probably shipped him back to the States. Or is he in prison? If he's in prison there, that's fantastic. Instead of peace, we ended up in worse situation of war, and today I don't see how peace can be achieved. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I think that is of Israel's own making. As a heads up, I have 10 minutes, but I'm going to be on tomorrow. We're going to watch the Necessary Conversation podcast that I was hoping was going to get released earlier today, but we'll watch it tomorrow. I kind of enjoy these where I'm kind of like just free flowing and just watching whatever, because it helps me, because there's some things that I am honestly, I'm not the most knowledgeable on, and I like learning and I like getting this information. Social engineering has entered a truly scary era. I mean, just look at the Israelis. I mean, they believe this. They believe all of these things that are, if you literally just looked with your own two eyes, you could be like, yeah, there's something really wrong here. And it's literally the beginning of this video, that contrast of Tel Aviv and the beach, and then if you drive literally 60 kilometers down the beach, you hit Gaza, and it's a completely different story. Insane. There's just a level of just willful ignorance that blows my mind. Just blows my fucking mind. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, I can't even make a comparison because it just feels so weird. Well, anyway, I'm gonna try and be on a little bit earlier tomorrow. I think I have it set at 1:30 tomorrow for the stream. I should have put a notice out yesterday, but I just slipped my mind. I was like, oh, I could just push everything to tomorrow. I was like, nah, I should just go ahead and stream today. I got to get some stuff done. We're going to do something on Friday, but I have a friend who's coming into town to essentially go to a Magic pre-release with me. So we're going to do that. I gotta be sorry about hopping in and derail. No, what you didn't derail. Don't feel bad. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this to anyone who's be like, I'm sorry, I diverted your attention away. No, look, the reality is this. I do that already. I welcome it at this point because I live in chaos. When it comes to my daily life and on stream, it's the same thing. I don't mind it. I can yes, I cannot handle two different thoughts at once. I've learned that I am a look. I used to tell myself like I'm a multitasker. The reality is this: no one is a fucking multitasker. It's just a quick way to burn yourself out doing 2 or 3 things at once. It just does not work. And I feel like I got dumber as I was doing. But the reality is this: multitasking is doing multiple things badly. Exactly. It's also the jack of all trades thing too. You know, jack of all trades, master of none. It's the reality is it's like it's great. It's great to feel that way. Have you ever tried multitasking on weed? I was a hardcore I almost said hardcore weed head. I took a lot of I smoked a lot of weed when I was in my like teenage years. As I got older, I became increasingly more and more paranoid. I had like I have these weird like ego death moments when I'm on weed now, or here because I'm in Texas, it's Delta 8 or 9 or whatever it is now, and I have these weird ego deaths where I'm just staring into space, and I feel like I am nothing. I feel like I'm insignificant. And wasn't that Jon Stewart? Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean, Jon Stewart? But no, I legitimately do not have a good time on weed. If I go to sleep before it really hits, I have the best sleep of my life. If I stay awake, or if I'm like trying to go to sleep and it hits me, I end up staying awake and I end up being just absolutely just destroyed. Dude, I'm in San Diego, like the only place where they have possession by ingestion. Having it in your system is possession. What the fuck? Talk about paranoia triggers? Yeah, that would... Or sorry, South Dakota. God damn it, I always do that. South Dakota. Yeah, South Dakota, look, Texas is not that bad. Fuck, man, South Dakota. South Dakota. Fuck. I was like, San Diego? I was like, no way. I was like, wait, San Diego? And I said it out loud and I went, no, they fucking smoke weed like every day. Like, they are like king of fucking weed, man. Look, I'm gonna say it to everybody, and I'm very open about it. I'm fucking dumb. I just have conviction and I believe in certain things, but I'm dumb. I'm real dumb. God, I remember the time I brought up, I had to go get some testing done so before I got into EMDR, there was like a question about me having ADHD, and it's been verified. It's like, yeah, you got ADHD. But the other question was, oh, Jon Stewart Half Baked with Dave Chappelle. But have you listened to Pink Floyd on weed? I haven't watched that in so long. Half Baked. But yeah, so I legitimately went through the process, and I was also like, hey, look, I also want to see if I have like autism as well. Like, you know, it was something that was implanted in the back of my head from a parent. Like, you think you might be autistic? And I was like, maybe. They did the testing, and it was like, no, you're good. I was like, okay, but you're severely you deal with ADHD. Did get my IQ. That was actually kind of a nice ego boost for a bit, which was like, okay, cool. I'm not in the 90 percentile. I think I am, but I'm too poor for diagnosis. Yeah, it was. I'll be honest with you. It is, at least in Texas, along with insurance and everything like that, it was still $500 to get the testing done. And I was even having trouble being like, oh, I don't want to drop $500 for that. I'd rather just live with not knowing at this point. But I got it done, and they did an IQ test, which was something I've kind of wanted to do for a while, because I was like, I want to see like how fucking like dumb I am. And I was like pleasantly surprised to be above average in IQ, which was like, okay, cool. I just have a really bad time remembering things. Like that was kind of like the end of the thing. It was like, yeah, your short-term memory is bad. Like you just have really poor short-term memory. My kid is autistic. I probably am too. I mean, it's autism is something that is passed genetically. It's not like Jenny McCarthy said, and it's vaccines. It's not that. It's a genetic thing. God, man, that makes me hate your white male IQ tests are a remnant of eugenics. Yes, and that's what someone told me when I brought it up. The day I got my results, they were like, you know. I was like, I understand that. Thank you. It's still something that is done, and it's a part of a diagnosis. But I blame society. I barely remember the 1990s. The thing is, well, okay, I'll share this. Before I head out. I've had a little bit of a discussion with my EMDR. No wonder you did well on it, though. It's all I'm saying. Oh, okay, yeah. Being a white male, you're gonna do great. No, man, it was a weird thing. But was okay. Hold on, let me make the point I was gonna make. I have issues remembering my childhood. Like I can't place a year. Like my sister can place years and days throughout her childhood, and I can't. I have like this like all my memories are just shoved into one giant like garbage bag, and it's like okay, well, what are we gonna think about today, and what are we gonna try and think about? It's like, all right, can you remember a birthday? And it's like, well, I remember my 6th birthday, and then I didn't have any birthdays after that, or at least I don't remember birthdays. My mom claims she gave us birthdays. Birthdays were not special, but it's like stuff like that where I'm like, it's a grab bag. It's like I can't remember when this exactly happened, but I think I was like 12, and then someone goes, well, that like I bring up The Crow, and I'm like, oh yeah, I saw The Crow in theaters, and I think I was like 10, and then they were like, well, The Crow came out in 1992. I'm like, oh, I was 8. Okay. All right. Wait, did it come out in 1992? I think it came out in 1984. I think it did. We're double checking that. The Crow did come out in... No. 1994 was The Crow. Okay, so it was 10, but whatever. It's one of those things where I don't know. I can't place the time or date. I can't place when it happened. But nowadays, like I remember stuff. I remember conversations with people, and I remember things pretty hardcore. My thing that I remember a lot from my childhood is movies, though. I do that. It's not normal. Wait, okay. I think you should check out Ren, specifically Money Game Part 2. Great song. I feel you'll appreciate. If you want to do a reaction to his music, I can give you the release form to fill out. If you want to, yeah. Hold on, let me look them up. And we can do that tomorrow if I can get the stuff for it. Independent artist, not banned. Oh, okay, so gotcha. Okay, it's Ren Gill. Okay, I found it just now. So I'm looking at the lyrics. They're interesting. This is interesting. I like it. I think this reads fast. It's fascinating. It reads as very poignant. Oof, can't say that word. Oh yeah. Dropped in Discord. Thank you so much. I will will fill it out. Ah. Cool. I'll fill that out this evening for sure. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow, today's Chad's birthday. So, he might not release an episode today. I don't know if he said he's going to release one. I don't know. But if they have one tomorrow, we'll for sure watch it. If not, look at me derailing the stream again. No, I'm getting prepared to leave. Like, any information you want to shoot my way right now is great. Because I'm about to go start making tikka. That's what I'm going to go do. Make tikka and greet my wife when she gets home. So greet Suzanne when she walks in the door. They were going to have a special guest today. Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. Hopefully it's someone interesting. If you guys, his birthday was yesterday. Suzanne messaged me and she was all like, "It's his birthday," and I was like, "What? Really?" And then I said something about them calling the mother out on Mary Lou out on Sunday about not remembering Chad's birthday but remembering Trump. And I was like, oh. And I told her that. That's where we kind of left it. But yeah, I am going to. I also have to fucking list over, I think, like 1,000 cards tonight. I don't want to fucking do it. I really don't. I'm not in the fucking headspace to do it. Hopefully, I can assist you fall down the rabbit hole of Ren. His reaction gets views. Something about his music makes you want to relive the first time through others. Oh, that's kind of awesome. Yeah, I will fill all that information out, and yeah, I'm down to listen to it. I'm gonna keep it a surprise though. I'm gonna keep it a surprise. Is ML bringing on her bingo friends? Okay, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Chad has officially scared Mary Lou from ever bringing on someone that she knows personally. What's her face literally got absolutely like dumped on by like I'm gonna say Chad destroyed her, and she did not look good. She didn't look good at all. Jules, thank you. Jules. Yeah, they're never going to let they're not going to let another Jules on there. Because every single person that Mary Lou knows is exactly that kind of dense that Jules is. And I feel bad for Jules. Like, Jules is a product of her environment. Like, actively I don't know anything about anything, but I just follow what everyone else does. Mm-hmm. It's like, yep. I mean, that's a lot of people, though, honestly. I mean, look, I worked as an executive for so long that it feels like I was, like, part of that, too. Money Game Part 1 and 2, Part 3 is good if you want to do a video of the Money Game series. That would just be a longer video. It might be, I've been thinking about editing down some of these to some interesting kind of, like, clips. Right now, I'm just trying to get used to talking about politics on camera because I'm very much in my head. Like, there's a lot of basically doubt because I don't want to say something that, first of all, might be like a slip up and may not be exactly how I feel because people take everything, especially if they don't like your take, and they can spin it anyway. And I just don't want to do that. I want to make sure I'm saying something meaningful, and I'm very much in my head about it. There's going to be a point in time where I will be very, very lax, and I will say some insane shit, and people will be like, "Are you okay there?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But you also have to understand, though, that, like, you can even tell from my videos, like, legitimately, you can tell from my videos that I've edited in the past that my brain's a little, I think, look, I get told this all the time, don't say you're weird, but my brain's a little off. I have a weird train of thought on shit, and I tamp it down in real life. You're human. To human is to err. Yeah. Is to err. Err. Because she was like, I think he is great. Gas is down, and I have money in my pocket. Our learning hiccups are part of the process. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing too. Is like I got really scared to do these live streams because it's like one thing to be like, hey, like you're the dude who edits necessary conversation shit. And it's like, yeah. And it's like, why are you on camera? No one wants to fucking hear from you. We want just necessary conversation content. And I'm like, I know that. I know people do. The reality is like that is not who I am. There are many things that I'm just gonna say it, and I've said it before. That whole fucking video thing was a fluke. Was a fucking fluke. And I don't look at it as anything other than, hey, it got seen by people. I don't know how it got seen by people. I don't know. I just don't know. But I cannot just be the person who. I cannot be the person who's like legitimately. The only thing that they're doing is making free content for the necessary conversation. I just can't do it. I just can't be the only. That's the only thing I do. I don't mind doing it. It's not like it's a huge like like it doesn't bother me to make content. But it is also another thing of I'm a bit more multifaceted than that. Like I took down all of the videos that I had up before I made that video about Mary Lou, because I was like, people are not going to fucking want to watch me talk about like my 10 favorite horror movies. Chad called it out. Like, that's why you got a bigger notice. Nothing wrong with that, though. No, there's nothing wrong with that. But the lead up to him talking about it was massive. Like, it was on other people's radars before it was on his. The net angle has started necessary conversation content. Well, it's because it's the hip new thing. Like, you have to understand, like, Chad and them legitimately were doing this for 2 years, and then we're getting maybe 1,000 to 2,000 views. What are your 10 horror movies? We want to know. Well, it was under the guise of top 10 horror movies for basically for beginners. And I then started throwing in random shit like Tetsuo the Iron Man. So it was like, you want to challenge yourself? Watch this. It is a very short movie. It's, I think, 65 minutes long, maybe 60 minutes. And the reality is that is a movie that is not for about 99% of the population, but it's one of my favorite ones. Have you jumped on the obsession train? I talked about that on the last stream. I saw it this weekend, and I had a negative reaction to it. I kind of was going into it with House, the movie made like in the 80s, is insane. The first House is great. The sequel is not good. The sequel's not bad. You know what? No. I actually think I like the sequel too. I'm gonna say it. I saw it when I saw the sequel first, and I saw it in the early 90s. But yeah, so Obsession. My only sort of thing about Obsession is this. I didn't like any of the characters. I also was not in a good mood when I went and saw it. So that's the other thing too. PNC just laying on. It's the leaving MAGA guy. So this is everything everyone thought it was. Yeah. We're going to watch it tomorrow. Heard of it off the cuff? Yeah, the World War II vet taking over his aunt's home, right? Or not World War II vet, sorry, the Vietnam vet taking over his aunt's home. And essentially, yeah, God, I haven't seen the movie in a bit, but it's one of the few films that I'm like, I'll put it on in the background and shit. I think I actually own it. So, yeah. Takes over his dead aunt's home and essentially is like tortured by his own past. It's great. The grenade scene is wild. Yeah. Have you seen, it's not Night of the Comet, Night of the Creeps. Night of the Creeps is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated horror films of the 80s. It's got what's his face from Halloween 3 in it. Tom Atkins, right? Is that Tom Atkins, right? I think it is. And his fucking catchphrase in that movie, it's Miller time. It's so fucking dumb, but it's so good at the same time. But if you know anything about me, it's not very obvious. I don't have it up behind me, but Evil Dead 2 is my favorite movie, like ever. I don't watch it anymore. I wrote a whole movie, or not whole movie. I wrote a whole, actually shot a whole video about my love of Evil Dead 2. Is that the one with all the puppet heads? No. The Night of the Creeps is about an alien life form that hits Earth and arrives in a meteor, and it happens in the 50s. They freeze one of the victims of this meteor attack, and that's how the movie starts. I don't want to give it away too much. It's pretty good. I'm having so much fun with Widow's Bay. So yeah, by the way, Obsession, I just want to say this, did not enjoy it as much as other people did. I wasn't even really, it feels like I've seen a movie like it before, and I couldn't really pinpoint what movie it was. But I went in with I didn't watch any trailers, I didn't read anything about it, and I wanted to go in cold. If I had known a couple things, and first of all, if I had known this was a movie made under, like, the budget was like under $1 million, I would have probably given it a lot more grace. Two, if I had known that it was, and I think this is given away in the trailer. I haven't watched the trailer, but it's like a monkey's paw type of movie. I think that's where my brain kind of goes down a rabbit hole, and I just didn't like the main character. The dude in the role is a good actor. Like, everyone acted great in the movie, but I feel like it's a movie I need to rewatch. Like, I rewatched Weapons last night, and I left Weapons being like, that was such a nothing burger movie. And then I watched it again last night, and I was like, okay, yeah, I was really pissed when I watched this movie. Someone in the movie theater was actively talking on their phone next to us, and I was like, bitch, please. Brought in a whole goddamn bag, like a grocery store bag of snacks, and was just digging through it. You just hear the whole movie. The Beauty has billionaires being slaughtered in like episode 3 or 4. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch Widow's Bay. What is it on? Ashton Kutcher's naked butt is in there. Wait, hold on. Where? Okay, what is Widow's Bay on? And also The Beauty. I have never watched it, but what is it on? What is The Beauty on? Because I'll check it out. I'm Ashton Kutcher. I'm not the hugest fan of him, and especially the fact that he was friends with that one dude, Danny, whatever his name is. You get to meet Bruce Campbell. I'm such a fan of Evil Dead. The entire franchise is fun. Rise was impressive. Can't wait for Burn. Burn looks like Burn reminds me of the reaction I had to Evil Dead 2013, which was like, this feels visceral. Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio plays a young Ashton Kutcher's character? What? Widow's Bay is on Apple TV, okay. And then Hulu on the other one. Okay. On The Beauty. I just finished also just like a couple weeks ago. I finished The Boys finally. All right. Suzanne is home. So I gotta run, guys. I gotta run. But I will be on tomorrow. We're gonna aim for 1. And yeah, we'll watch the necessary conversation, and we'll kind of go through it. Now that I know about 1.5 speed, we'll probably watch it in 1.5 speed so we can get through it quick. All right, everybody. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have a good one. Eat some food, drink some water, do whatever you can. I will see you guys tomorrow. Tell Suzanne hi. I will. Amanda, have a good night. Craig, Antifa, Griffins, and Indiana Girl. Also, we have, let's see. Oh, and Hopeless as well. Hopeless, thank you so much. I appreciate you.